talk about.
Like we get into the super soldier um, argumentative individual, and they kind of breaking down a better understanding, a better way of doing things and whatnot, right? So we gonna continue to get into this thing, man.
About the chips because I know that that's where much of the conversation lands.
The chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They began. So, Chris, to answer you in short, they uploaded me fully into the system around when COVID came out, sometime between December and March, and my twin sister at the same time. And I just come to find out this weekend that another resident at my building, who I believe is Rh negative and doesn't know it, her sister is fibromyalgia and is probably in the program. I mean, that's just that fibromyalgia is the program. But anyway, to come to find out, she was at the same time severely sick with this so-called COVID to the point where she thought she was going to die, and it was severe. Well, at the same time, my sister and I had this stuff, the Morgellons components, which turns out to be, it's a very sophisticated weapon that I used to be able to sort of describe, but with the brain damage I'm experiencing now, I'm struggling. But it is a mixture between a synthetic fungus, several different bacteria that have been augmented in labs, and insect DNA, and synthetic metals, and a self-reproducing crystal, which they call in the technology world black goo or gray goo. They have a word for it, and it's the system goes into your body, and it actually not only threads the part of it that is metal, which is what the nanometals that have to conduct the electricity, those actually will go through your arms. At this point, I have metal rod-like structures. And when I say rod, I'm not kidding, because when you apply full magnetic EMFs to that, the whole limb magnetizes, stiffens, and all that you are aware of is the metal structure. You can't feel your own arm. And I am attempting to reteach myself how to walk with I think that what they call this is a military exoskeleton. So that rather than being like a human being who has an endoskeleton with light tissues over it, and one of the first things I noticed when this took over my body was the disappearance of my normal interstitial tissue, to the point where I developed a very unusual contortionist type syndrome, where I could do somersaults and twist my body in all sorts of ways that were, I guess, they were reminding me of a thing called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome in some people who have been born without the ability to make strong enough tensile connective tissue. And I went on a wild goose chase to different doctors trying to rule this in or out, because initially they thought maybe it was that. That is one of the things that you will notice is your body changing, not only in weight. People will either put on a great deal of weight, and the reason for that is the plastics and the synthetic components. Your body is trying to keep them away from your organs, and so you are building these up in your fat tissues.
And I want to pause for a moment, because certainly we have all heard about wheat belly, and we're noticing that many people have enlarged abdomens. And I certainly think, and we know that is the body's attempt to isolate some of this material in those locations, as you are saying, in the fat tissue.
Yeah, so you'll see that. But if you, all of us, I believe and am noticing and would propose, have the exoskeleton already. As of, I began to notice, I would say about 4 months ago.
So let's talk about
a rapid change. Yeah,
let's talk about an exoskeleton, because I don't think people really realize. Initially, years back, we were looking at robotic structures where they had exoskeletons on the outside of the body, and are almost like a hermit crab.
Yes, it feels exactly like a crustacean type of tissue. I actually have, I would say, like abacus beads or like scales. and they are under my splash. It isn't too hard to find them. They collect together, and they make almost like a dragon coating. I'm not even kidding. Underneath of the skin.
Now, what does that look like visually? If
you can't visually see it
because it's
you
an
would have
endoskeleton.
It's inside.
Yes.
It's inside it's above the bone, above the muscle, and it also interfaces with the muscle, the wire parts do. But the scale-like or bead-like structures are under the skin. Like, particularly you could feel them in the upper thighs. It collects in my upper arms. And very unfortunately for me, I have these structures that feel like little metallic beads through my whole brain. And since last year, whenever they want to torture me and to create an extreme dementia, amnesia type scattered, maybe pseudo-schizophrenic type presentation, they will hit me with this vortex-like energy where I can feel these structures along with the wiring system Elon Musk talks about, which goes through the hair, down through the skull, three-dimensionally both ways, crisscrosses, and links up to the bone that goes in under your chin.
Now,
and
Michelle,
how that will feel...
I just have a question. Nishal and Deborah, if you want to chime in on this, do you think that the vaccine is going to be a delivery method for some of this nanotechnology?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. I was going to come to that. They have already, I did not take either injection, nor will I, but they do not need the vaccine to do this to you. They delivered last winter, my sister and I, we got ourselves on the bad no-no list by talking way too much about pedogate. And she became very active on Facebook, speaking out against the revelations of there appears to be a global network of adrenochrome and pizza culture, which I was going to talk about that pizza culture. That's, I believe that's pedophilia, incest, zoophilia, xenophilia, and adrenochrome.
Yeah,
that's
and organ harvesting and sex trafficking, any and everything that you can do in the most vile way to humans.
So my sister and I, we became aware of that in 2017, and we began to be, I think, we had already been enrolled in this twin study, a Mendelian psychological type study, for at least a decade. But we became active targets, I believe, after she started becoming too outspoken online in a Facebook group called Pedogate Exposed, where she got the attention of the lead moderator, and they were calling her the chosen one, and we were on there all day, every day. And my sister is very rhetorically gifted, so she was getting people's attention. And then all of a sudden she started getting these Facebook messages into her inbox, which would disappear, that said things like, "We are watching you," and they would appear to be coming from other people on Facebook using their monikers, but then when you asked, it wasn't them. And it would be time to disappear. They were sending us lists of everyone we knew and photos of friends, and they would zoom in, to all 10 years of our Facebook conversations, anything that had to do, for instance, with death, or the fact that we had been discussing on there the FEMA camp. So we were sent back a series of what I would call would be veiled threats. And that was kind of the beginning of it. But it went way too far because I started visiting websites much, much more than that. I put everything together. I was looking into information about extraterrestrials, aliens, worldwide Illuminati. I was beginning to realize there were anomalies going on in the sun and the stars, and I came across information that we actually have a sun simulator in the sky now, which I've been aware of for about 3 years, because I noticed when it happened. Our natural sun, apparently started to die or go into some kind of crisis in 2011. And I want to bring this back to the date of 2012, because I can't verify this right now, but I will be willing to look it up again. that I think when a lot of things started really going crazy on this planet was linked to some of the experiments that they have been doing at CERN. And if you haven't heard of CERN, it's the Hadron Particle Collider in Switzerland.
And there are about 7 different locations where they have those. So
okay, so there's a lot of them.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, so what they're doing, and this is important to understand, how are they achieving this? This year, they were able to 2020 was predicted to be the singularity in computing. And what that means is that all of the AI blockchains in the world combined into one super force. And this has also been linked up to the work that they are doing at CERN, where they are colliding the smallest particles on Earth together, and they are not only doing this, they are inventing new types and discovering new types of matter constantly. How I believe this is able to affect all of us is that literally what quantum physics shows us is we actually all are, not just spiritually, but physically, in a sense, connected and one. And so what they are doing at those places, to those tiny quarks and other things that I don't know the words for them, they come up with new words all the time. They just discovered something called the swirlon, which is a new form of matter, and you can look that up. But what they're doing in those colliders is linked to my body. I have experience.
Let me move you back into some other conversations here, because I think people...
So, dealing with this, right, you have essentially, we being attacked, man, like, even ones who bringing it out, the artificial intelligence, trying to keep us connected on the sense to where even folks who bringing it out and who talking about it, they trying to, like, give you the same conditioning, right? It's making folks give folks the same conditions, right? So it's like, man, you know, I was like, hold on. I got to saying, like, man, hold on, bro. Why is it that, like, why is it that you have people bringing it out, but they not bringing, but it's like they trying to, like, give you the same condition that's attacking us, right? Remember, Sabrina, if y'all familiar with Sabrina Wallace, she got into folks who, they know who be on their page, they know who be on their channel, they know who be on their content based on the animation. Some people call it metadata. Some people call it different other things. So, I don't know, we're going to keep getting into it though, man. We're going to get into some things, man. We got to go out of scrolls, but like I stated yesterday, I'm finna, I never did post that last podcast, but I'm finna post it today. I'm gonna put it on my BitChute. And then, you know what I'm saying, we can keep it rolling. But, yeah, man, let's get into it. Like, one of them, cause they got like diagrams of what they get into. Quotation, quotes and stuff from certain people. Diagrams of the body, internet, of bios, man, those things. Advanced technology for humanity. They got something called the Circle. The Circle, CIRCA, 2025. It said machines are creative, smart as humans, robotics, the norm. Says Zarot, order, war stopper, binary bio into nations, agriculture / food distribution system, every home and foxhole. Next level of concern, ubiquitous, Salaki. Y'all know about the ubiquitous computing. Right, they're dealing with the psychotronic. You had more than one, remember she got into the wireless sensors, and the sensors is like electrified. they can mesh all these different electronics onto you, right? And be operating, but it's a sensor. It's a wearable sensor. You feel what I'm saying? So we'll get back into it. It said after ubiquitous, it said slash cheap, micro to nano, right? Cheap, micro to nano. Yeah, micro to nano. Everything, sensors, munition, weapon swarms, squads, battlefield, attrition. You got what's it called? Computer or control neural networks. Syndrome forces U.S. Army to look.
People need to really get a visual of what this is doing to you.
What does it look like?
Yeah, what does it look like? And I want to bring back something that I recall happened a couple of years ago, and all of you can look it up. I'm going to bring this forward now. There was a woman by the name, or actually a young woman by the name of Erin Valente, who was a startup founder and out of Utah. And she went to a workshop in Silicon Valley. And a week later, she was found dead in the back seat of her car. And what was happening was, first of all, she was an entrepreneur, as they say, from Salt Lake City, and she was traveling on business. When she was on her way to the airport in her rental car, she called her relatives and other friends, and she was talking very fast and erratically, and she wasn't making much sense. But what she was saying is, it's all a game. It's a thought experiment. We're in the matrix. And and then she said she was afraid she was going to miss her flight. And then 5 days later, she was found dead in the back seat of her rental car.
That's what I'm talking about. There's a thing going on worldwide, and I am sorry that I am so scattered, because the effect of these beads is that I just want to tell you guys this. I used to be something called a nonlinear thinker. That means that my brain could go backwards, forwards, and swirls and circles. I was always bringing in information in a loop in order to come to the deepest reality. And that is something they used to call insane, but that actually is something that all geniuses like Einstein displayed. What is in my brain right now does not even permit me. Why I might speak a little bit unusually right now, if you notice, and haltingly, is I can't go backwards. The magnetics carry thoughts, and you can only go in one direction. So if I lose my track of thought while I'm speaking, I won't get it back. Either Chris or Deb or somebody or my notes will have to bring me back, because I cannot collate information. And this goes back to the thing that I opened up with, which is the inability to create internal visual templates. And I would like to respond to Deb by saying, I'm going to describe in two ways the syndrome. I'm going to start with the external, and then I will try my best to describe the internal experience, because it has to be understood in both ways. So externally, what should you look for? Changes that began to happen to my sister and me, and that are much more dramatic in me than my sister at this point, but that are happening in everybody. So your hair will be changing in consistency and possibly length and texture. You start to develop like a wiry hair structure that you never had before. It may change in color. You may have a lot of silver or white, unusual hairs, especially that stick straight up and that vibrate continually. If you look real close at the person, on the top of their head are these little nano antennae, and that is passing as hair. And another way where you can certainly determine whether it's a normal hair or not is if you can find any more, a doctor that will do a metals analysis, they may find that your hair is basically metal. I took some of mine and cut it off, and I attempted to burn it, and it wouldn't even go into flame.
Now, I want to pause you for a moment, because many people might have the vision of Boris Johnson in their mind out of the UK. He has very unusual hair. And every time we see him, we're wondering how and why would he continue that hairstyle, right?
I wonder if that's what Donald Trump's hair was about.
Well, we can speculate, but what we do know is that every single person on this entire planet is affected, and the methods and ways in which it's being presented is occurring now. And now you were talking about the hair. What about hair on other parts of your body? What about?
And if you could also go over, like you were saying, some of the effects you saw on other people, you know, along with what you're going to tell us about the hair.
That's the most disturbing part, actually.
We'll finish with your description, and then we'll get into
the hair on the body. Indeed, it changes everywhere. It will be rooted. It will be so thickly rooted that you cannot pull this hair out. You can grab a whole tuft of it, but it is rooted 3, 4, 5 inches because, again, it is Elon Musk's technology, and it is a self-sewing thing. So that was one of the things I noticed. I actually had caterpillar-like swellings grow up under my skull while this stuff was weaving itself in. It was incredibly painful. You could just grab a hold of your eyebrows, and you will find that there are some hairs, or in my case, all the hairs, that cannot be removed. You're going to have to use a scissors. You can't pull them by the roots.
So this would speak to what we were seeing with the nanowires in the face masks, because people were showing how that was in the face masks, and when they actually got them to drop off the face masks, they were literally trying to burrow in the hand of people that were demonstrating the wires in the face.
Yes, they'll do that. If you cut some of these unusual hairs off of your head, they are electromagnetically charged machines, and you can tell this because if you hold them close to your finger, they'll jump at it. They like electricity, and they're drawn to the fields of the body. Unfortunately, this did not just happen to every hair in my skull at this point. I want to cut it all off at this point. And also, I will draw your attention to Britney Spears and Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
Because remember how Britney was very much mocked?
Yeah.
For, she had said something to the degree of they're getting at me through my hair, and indeed she had implants, and she wanted it off her. You know, so that was why that was put into the public, so that she could be mocked. And then Sinead O'Connor, who's very well aware of all the child abuse and the scams, had shaved her head in sympathy with Britney Spears, and I do not believe that Sinead O'Connor is mentally ill whatsoever. She's a very intelligent woman.
We live in a world of non-acknowledgement of reality.
Yeah.
And I think the sooner everyone that's listening understands that reality is unacknowledged. I mean, we're hearing the pelting of weather being articulated in the media. They lie. It's not real. Nothing is real. It's a huge psyops, and the real story is not COVID. This is a cover-up of the millennium.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say, is the bottom line, and this is the first part of my message, aside from my personal horror with this, is COVID is a psyop to explain the extreme side effects, bizarrities, especially neurological, and the die-off, the massive die-off of humans that was expected when they melded AI with the human body, which was set for this year. So they had to have a cover story, and in fact, there is a paper that was leaked that I came across right before they fully uploaded me, and the wire structure began to build through my brain, and that was called Project Domestic Quell.
Yes, let's talk about that for a moment, because I'm getting ready to upload that on my website, and that is horrific.
Huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's very, very huge. And I want to talk about that briefly, because we had, let me find all of my information on this. Okay, this was Dr. Bill Wells' intelligence report, and this was back in 2013. And I remember seeing him on YouTube with an urgent urgent alert message about classified information that he was revealing from another source. And he said he couldn't reveal all of the information at the time because his source would be killed. But
that was William Ward, probably. His family got attacked with Morgellons as soon as he put it out. He was a lawyer from Arkansas, that's all I remember.
Yes, that is correct.
His children were being killed. You know, I mean, this stuff is not free. This knowledge is not free. I want everybody to understand I'm being murdered for what I have done. Because before I became scattered like this, I was brilliant. And I had doctors tell me so. And I had done all the research just like Deb independently, and she was one of my sources. And I was even told by one doctor that they would write me a letter to medical school with never having taken biology in college. So I was on the track, and this is not free. This information hasn't been free for those of us. Some of us are being killed or given dementia or destroyed physically and spiritually right now because we would not bend, we would not break, and we would not go along with the narrative. And the narrative that you're receiving globally, this COVID, it not only is a lie. We already were familiar with this syndrome in the years before. It was being called chem flu.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah, what it's the buildup of, here, I want to put it this way. Everything you're going to see in the deaths to come soon, they're going to come up with different names for it. If it's attacking the lungs, then you've got the nanobodies in the lungs. And that's what Project Domestic Quell explains. It said since a certain year in the 1990s, they were going to be ubiquitously corrupting the water supply in the United States with nanorobotic components.
Yes.
That at a given time, which is this year, they were going to activate in the bodies of the populace once they had all of the computing power to do it, and they needed that 5G, that satellite space fence that's going up right now from Space Force. And so we've been put through all these ridiculous psyops with watching the shenanigans of Elon Musk and his crew. And you'll remember how the Nazis have always been fascinated with space, but the real fascination seems to be not just space, but the complete control of this planet. And so they've been getting everybody to sit there and watch these ridiculous launches of satellites. What they're working on is Project Domestic Quell, which has been underway for a whole year now. They've had the singularity, and they have the computing power to do it. And what this does is it creates something called a cytokine storm in the body, which is an artificial sepsis. And so this is what people are dying of, that they're calling it a natural flu. I do believe also, I do believe, you guys, that there is also a natural form of SARS that was developed in China, and that they needed that because they needed the DNA of something.
Well, let me pause you for a moment and go over some of the details of what Dr. Bill Weld disclosed in this Project Domestic Quail, because they were talking about describing tiny nanoparticles that were to be ingested through the drinking water, food additives, atmospheric dust, on food, toothpaste, dental fillings, implants. Ingested nanoparticles will then be absorbed in small nodulars in intestinal tissue that are part of the immune defense system. And he goes on to talk about how if the nanoparticles enter the digestive tract and proceed into the bloodstream, they will have more thought and body and cause more damage. And they go on to say the outer coating is robust and will travel into our bodies. In other words, the outer coating will survive our immune system's attempt to extricate.
I think they're actually coating some of that in diamond, in nitrate, in carbon, in graphene. I have so much of it that I literally have the sensation of being a walking collection of strings and magnets. Thank you very much. That is not an exaggeration.
Well, I want to go on to say what people need to understand is this has been activated a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yes, and the target survival rate of this is going to be, and this was back then in the early 2000s.
1%, was it?
Well, they're saying 2%. And
2%.
And that was then. So I'm imagining now, because what they've done is they're saying that they want 99% of the populations infected. And the program began in 1995. And
so you can only imagine since the singularity in computing.
So let's talk about some of the things that all of this was put into so that you understand the corporate entanglement designed to kill us and enslave us in ways beyond our imagination. They talked about how they needed to increase the total infection rate for the United States and into the general population. They wanted more than 87.2% infection rate. So what they did was they projected the infection rate for the general U.S. population. By January 2014, they estimated that it would reach 98% infection rate, and that the total infection rate for ages 18 and above may reach 99%. So they talk about dispersal mediums that would require additional resources for phase 4.
Chemtrails have been huge. That's how I got severely.
Yes.
My nightmare was not just I want to point out that the Lyme disease also was, there was a scientist who was arrested in Wyoming by the Attorney General because she was finding that Lyme disease went in 99% of blood samples. I believe Lyme disease is in all of us, ubiquitously, whether we know it or not, and was the laying down phase. I think you actually needed it in order to silence the immune system because you would have otherwise had a COVID-like syndrome right away.
Well, I agree, and because
the body would have gone in, it would have made antibodies. They had to do something to those B cells. Lyme disease does something damaging to B cells. What AIDS is to T cells, Lyme is to B cells.
Well, let me add this, because this is what they did to increase the dispersal rate. They added this into Pepsi, into Nestle products, the Chicago Municipal Water Supply, the Atlanta Municipal Water Supply, Coca-Cola, the Los Angeles Municipal Water Supply, Seattle Municipal Water Supply. And that's just a few of the many areas of dispersal infection programs that they augmented to increase the dispersal, to cause interference at multiple levels of cellular metabolism, signaling, and genetic alterations. So the dispersal outflows have shown significant improvement in population infection rates. Now, I want to pause for a moment. We have a tremendous problem in this country and worldwide. We have people believing that they have a government that is set up to protect them, and a government that they can vote for, and that they can vote for change. What is not understood is that our governments are 1,000% behind all of this. 100%. So I'm going to move forward with what I do and have done in the past, because certainly I've talked about sustainable development and all of the aspects of how we've been manipulated through government. We now need to move into where we are headed mechanically. So continue with, I want you to describe to people your legs and your arms and swimming and what that has done.
This is amazing. Let me just begin by saying, for any more information anyone wants, you better read a book called Visioneers by Patrick W. McRae. I myself have not even read it, but the picture on the front is my daily experience. And that's a picture of a being that is some kind of a nanorobotic being. And the structure that is inside of me, it's almost like having a secondary body. A secondary body put up inside yourself that is not human and that does not think like a human. So other physical outward signs of it, I'll just continue in trying to describe, would include the changes to the hair, and that includes your genital hairs and on every part of your body. There also will be changes to the skin. The skin will become sort of rubbery or flaky. It will become very elastine. The only thing I can describe it to is somebody that has cutis laxa, but it's different in that the skin rebounds because it's a rubber-like substance. So it is both very tensile. You can grab it on either side of your jowls and pull it 3-4 inches. Normally, this does not happen unless someone has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome in a normal individual. That's another way to look for that, as well as you could just look under a microscope and see these structures in your skin. But that's another way to examine the physical properties of the skin.
Now, I want to pause you for a moment, because I, first of all, would like for you to tell people how many laps you are able to swim in a pool, given what you are being confronted with right now, so that
okay, I'm having to reteach myself how to think, who I am, what I did in my life, where I went to college. I have no visual memory of my school. I cannot visually imagine people I know. I have to, the AI helps me get around.
See, I mean, what they doing is hijacking. See, they giving you the truth. That's what I'm saying. It's the way you have to get it, bro. They giving you the truth, and right, they giving you the truth, and you got to get into things, bro. Right? They tampering with memory. This is why they know all this stuff, because they've been tampered. They only reason why certain people got their positions because they stole information our folk supposed to been have a while back. They keep trying to enter us into all these different families, and you know what I'm saying? Keep scattering us out. You know what I mean? But slowly but for surely, the 42 months is almost over. See, the 400 months, the 400 years are already over. The 42 months is all we waiting on. See what I mean? Remember that 42 months, that 3.5 years, stumping the yards, you know what I'm saying? Stumping the ground over there in Jerusalem, which is in northeast, right? Northeast, so-called Africa, the real Jerusalem. You know what I mean? But in the created state of Israel, right? That you gotta get that. See, I just seen a brother from a camp, right? And it's been bad reports about him lately. But I just seen, I was on, what was that, like Facebook or Instagram or something. I just seen how you know what I'm saying? I had been seeing how he was getting into it. I probably can pull it up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up. Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna pull it up, man. So look, let me pull this up for y'all, man. Let me see. I think I'm on YouTube right before y'all back into that. All right. Right. Okay, so we gonna grab this, man. Let me get IUIC. Cause the brother from IUIC had got into that. You know what I mean? On how clean into that thing, man. Don't even trip. We ain't doing no tripping, man. Cause all we waiting on is y'all, so come on, man. I would know who being heavily attacked by these principalities, family. So it don't even matter what folk constantly doing. Right, like, you see, northeast. See, it's like northeast Africa. saying it's the Middle East, man, which makes sense. Cause every time you get on, right, every time you get on, right. Now I don't watch the camps no more, none of that, because there's been so many bad reports, man. But you know what I'm saying? I don't get into all of that, man. We support the brothers, but it's like, you know, we stay away from it. So let me grab this thing real fast, man. Sweet, so slack. Find this thing real quick, man. I don't know if it was. Let me see. I just seen it on Facebook, man. Just seen this thing on Facebook, but we gonna go back to this particular video. I think that it is. Let's see. Man. Let's see. We gonna get into it though, man. Let me tell you an opportunity. And the only reason why I'm getting into this, because I'm showing you that I done said and heard on the radio where it's like certain things we referring to concerning our people, right? They ain't doing nothing but just like literally they not doing nothing but just, you know, just keeping this old. Let me see, hold on, let me grab this, man. Hold on, let me hear about this East African guy. Yeah, this real quick, man.
Shalom. I'm Captain Emmanuel of Israel United in Christ, and I have a message for the East African diaspora. In these last days, the truth is coming to light that the Israelites have been scattered throughout the continent of Africa. After many generations of taking on alternate identities, God is declaring a decree for the East African diaspora to return to their true identity as the Israelites and repent.
East Africa, that's what my people at, man, Ethiopians.
Four corners of the earth, which would include
Matter of fact, got a brother Durak Abar that moved from the States out there in East Africa, East Ophir.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 12.
11 and 12.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations.
It shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather them together, the dispersed of Judah. Stop playing with them. See, light up, man. Come on, man. Stop playing with my folks, man. See, stop playing with them, because they coming back. We coming back. I done seen my people in turmoil and really don't want to believe that they the people, even after certain brothers or even I myself, once I got the truth and you know, possibly like, so you an Israelite, right? See, I seen like the disbelief, like, man, no, I believe we these people. I believe, like, I had a conversation with my brother one time, like my actual sibling, and I seen an Egyptian tattoo on him. Because, you know, Ethiopians is like, they right there where the Egyptians at. They like right on the Nile. So it's like that's right there. I I was like, nah, man. Now this before I already had like a sense, cause I had kept hearing it, but I ain't really started gravitating to it till later on. But I already had the sense. America was really Egypt, so it was like I ain't even put it out there during that time, but I was like, I had it in mind. I just didn't say it, but I was like, man, bro, you not know, you not know, you not no Egyptian, bro. And he was like, I forget what he said, but it was like he was like confirming, like, yeah, man, you know, Egypt. I was like, man, no, bro, you Israel, family. Told him, he was like, bro, I was like, you Israel, family. And now look what we getting into. Isaiah, we can get to. I got my scrolls right here. We get into it. Isaiah 11 and 11. Right? I mean, yeah, 11 and 12. Check it. See, some of my things. Okay, nigga. Okay, yeah. We say, you say for, cause some of my damn scrolls and left off, so I think some of it got tore off, so I'm reading from where I got it at, and it says, and for an insight of the people. But in my scrolls, cause I got KJV, one of the old KJV, but he was like, he said, and then that day, cause on his scrolls it say, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble, okay, Israel, and gather together the dispersed Judah from the four corners of the earth. See, in mine it said in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, and for an ensign of the people, it shall seek, and his rest shall be glorious. See, but we gonna get what the brother got, man, concerning East Africa, man. You got brothers coming from the same places, among the Bantus. See, you got brothers among the Bantus and all types of different things. So we gonna continue to get into it.
The four corners of the earth. So as I mentioned, of course, the continent of Africa is included in the four corners of the earth. However, the Bible explicitly tells us about the beginning of dwelling in the land of Africa. Let's go to Psalms chapter 105 and verse 23. Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham, and he increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. So dating back thousands of years ago, Israel has always had a presence in the continent of Africa, which is biblically known as the land of Ham. Now, we're going to go to the book.
I actually got I got some printouts that show you Ham, Shem, and Japhet. Japhet, whichever one you want to go with, but it's Japhet for sure. Dealing with the J, y'all know how that go. So boom, you got Ham, right? I see some Ethiopian sisters. I see some all different African, so-called Africans, known as Ophirite tribes, right? You got Shem, Jacob. You got Shem. You got your native Indian. You got your, what was his name? With the sister from the Asante tribe. What's it called? The Asante tribe, right? The one who played on the Medea movie. I forget it. Nah, that wasn't her. Salaki. But it's the one with the he was putting an X on his hand, on his chest. Forget his name. He on here. You got a couple other brothers. You got Yafet. You got Putin on here. You got all these people on here, man. See, I had my Ethiopian printouts. See, but I gotta find. I probably gotta reprint those, man. Hold on, I might have them. Hold on, it's lucky. to this thing.
Encyclopedia Americana. Native population. The chief names used in describing the African population are Negroes, Bantu-speaking, and Sudanic-speaking. Hamites, northern and eastern.
See what I mean? The chief names used in describing the African population are Negroes, Bantu-speakers. Remember, they got into Bantu. You got brothers over here in the States that claim Bantu. You got the Sudanic speaking. You got Hamites, northern and eastern. You got the Pygmies, the Bushmen, and the Hottentots. Right? And then it said the European population is described in the section. Right? European possessions to the author. I'm gonna let him get into it, man. You gonna finish it out. But on down the line, it said the word Hamite, for example, describes man of physique different from that Negro, and in addition, there are Hamite languages of definite. Definite. Then I can't really read the rest because I gotta wait till you go down. So I really need to get this book because I see over there to the left side. He's getting into a couple things. So we're gonna grab this.
Pygmy, Bushmen, and Hottentots. The word Hamite, for example, describes men of physique differing from that of Negroes. Some of these physical patterns of face, skull formation, and body are common to certain areas. Despite considerable crossbreeding of Negroes and Hamites, Negroes with Pygmies, and Arabs, Semites, with their Negro slaves. Negro tribes differ in facial appearance and body build, but a Negro of West Africa, without any admixture, is the one usually chosen as a type. He is heavily built and from medium height to tall. The head is long in relation to the breadth. The nose is wide, the lips thick and everted. The lower jaw protrudes. The skin color is very dark brown, almost black, and the hair is invariably black and woolly. So what this book shows is that there was a dwelling both
Matter of fact, this the brother from Little Rock.
But there were clear
This the brother from Little Rock right here. Matter of fact. It's the IUIC camping right here in Little Rock. I remember the brother. Hold on.
differences in physique and bone structure between the two. There has always been a difference between the Semitic Israelites in Africa and the Hamitic original inhabitants of that land. Now let's go in the Bible and show you that as well. The book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel. So the Bible confirms that yes, although the Israelites and Hamites were both black nations, there has always been a clear, distinct difference between the two. Now, let's go to another one. This is East African Societies by Elwood Shorter, page 216. The ancient Egyptians were early Hamites. Their role has always been that of conquering herdsmen of superior intelligence to the agricultural Negro, and sufficiently skilled in warfare to drive the Negro westward, but at the same time mixing freely with Negroes by marriage and producing many Negro-Hamitic crossbreeds. The Negro strain is usually shown by a few dominant traits, such as dark skin, broad nose, and thick lips. So this book here is telling us the Israelites and the Hamites were different and had distinct features. However, the Israelites mingled with those Hamitic tribes. That's also in the Bible. Psalms chapter 106 and verse 35. But were mingled among the Some notable mentions will be the Kikuyu people of Kenya, the Pygmies of Uganda, and the Tutsi people in Rwanda, just to name a few. Now let's further solidify in the Bible the presence of Israelites scattered in Eastern Africa. Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. It is prophesied that God's people who have been...
Oh, it's like Zephaniah. See, he said, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, right? Even the daughter of my dispersed shall bring mine offering. We seeing that today. Seeing that today, man. We bring, man, come on, man. Come on. Don't count us out, man. Don't count us out, man.
From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. It is prophesied that God's people who have been alienated from their homeland, scattered and forgotten, will awaken, return to their heritage, and be saved from the clutches of heathens and oppressors. You Israelites in East Africa, it's time to wake up. With that, we say shalom.
So, man, check it, man. Check it, man. All right, man, you gotta keep checking that thing, family. Gotta keep checking it, man. So you gotta look at this, man. Man, it was a particular thing I was gonna get into, but man, I guess we can continue to go on here and hold on. It's like, I really want to get some more on this East African. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going, we bounce a little bit, so. I'm bounce a little bit. Alright, so checking. Let me see. Let me see, man. Hold on. Let's see if I can find that thing. Let's see. Man, let me see. Well, I think that might have been the only thing dealing with the, you know what I mean? I say, yeah. Gonna get back to it, though, Slocky. Slocky, nah.
Downtown. There's a combination of things going on. My own soul, which I believe still persists and is with me, and spirituality, and the memory field, which we have to understand does not actually just exist in neurons. It exists in all the cells of the body. In fact, your memory is physical, and there's a thing called the morphogenic energy field that surrounds all of us that holds our memory. So this is something that MK Ultra masters know, and they work with that when they're programming memory or changing memory or blocking memory or re-accessing it for you. So when I go around town, I am not able to visually picture anything. And again, I want to tell you that your GPS system was to get you ready for this, because you are not only going to need help getting to places you had not been, but to places you had been every week. Maybe some of you have seen a film called 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. And in that film, every day she's had a damage to her brain where every day she has to relearn who everybody is because she has no short-term memory building capacity, and yet she goes on living her life. It's a romantic comedy. It's very cute, but in the view of this, it's not so cute. And this is what this is like. I could perhaps describe it as receiving 24/7 electroconvulsive therapy, which we know immediately erases your memory.
So now let's pause for a moment, and let's talk about your legs and your arms and the rubberized aspect of that, and swimming. Please go to swimming.
Yes, there's the chips that they're talking about, the radio frequency chips. When you are fully uploaded and you are fully transhuman, will come together. They will be linked inside your body by nanowires. There's a wiring structure that is like a ghost body inside of your body. And it is a very, very perplexing and confusing and miserable thing to deal with because you are having to relearn how to walk properly with a system that is, one of the symptoms you'll see in people is an unusual walk, a gait that is kind of halting, weaving, or jerky, or off balance, or in some way uncoordinated. And specifically what you can see is that it seems as though the person, the independent sides of their body work independent of each other, not in the way that a human brain, which has two sides that are supposed to be synced. And when these two sides of the brain sync, smooth movement is produced. What you're going to notice is a sort of a step-by-step, jerk-by-jerk kind of, almost like a bilateralized body.
Now, I would say that many people that are noticing folks that are walking on sidewalks that are having an unusual gait, where they are looking a bit staggering, would think that they were on drugs or they were drunk.
Drunk or sick. Or, and this is, and I will come back to what they are probably going to.
You see what I mean? They condition it after they've been exploit something because they know about these certain systems where they can actually, while they own they podcast or whatever, they know how to go into certain systems where they can look into, because it's this thing where you can look inside of folks, right? There's certain practice where you can look inside of folks, you know what I'm saying? People get, you know, and then they be like, okay, I want this right here, I want that right there, I want that. See what I mean? So, that being said, you got ones who are, right, that's gonna continue to exploit. They gonna give you truth. See what I mean? They gonna give you truth, but at the same time, they ain't gonna really go into depth and be like, okay, you know, nigga, this really what's happening. See, because they know if they bringing all this out, some of this stuff you can't even find in some places. But they know some of these same people working in the same circles. I mean, but we're going to dive into it.
Going to call this in the end, so you can understand when COVID affects the lungs, which COVID is nothing other than the transhuman wiring system and the nanobodies, then they call it COVID. When it affects the heart, then they may call it just a heart attack. When it affects other organs, they may come up with another name for it. When it affects the brain, they will call it multiple system inflammatory syndrome, especially in children. And when it affects the brain at the end stage, they call it mad cow disease.
Now,
chronic
let's
weight
pause
use.
for a
I'm going to
moment
get back to that.
because I want to insert a document that is extremely important for everyone to download and read, which is very interesting because the picture on the cover is the connectiveness of this structure inside our bodies, as you have described. This document is by Johns Hopkins and the Bloomberg School of Public Health, aka Rockefeller. That's my addition. And it is for the Center of Health Security. Now, this is not for our security by any means. This document was dated September of 2019. Here is the name of this document. Please, all of you, download it. I will also be doing a program on this on Israeli News Live in detail. But the name of this document, again, it's Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, Preparedness for High-Impact Respiratory Pathogen Pandemic. So what they have, I found interesting, on the first few pages, they have the list of their production team. They write this like a movie script, and then and then they talk about the list of their informants, their key informants. Now, this is their word inside, informants. Now, I want to go over their informants. The Pan American Health Organization, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Nuclear Threat Initiative, University of Oxford, the Wellcome Trust, University of Hong Kong, the Sabin Vaccine Institute, the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, the World...
That's okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
The World Organizations for Animal Health, because our animals are also being weaponized with this as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the World Health Organization, PATH, which is an acronym, PATH, U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. I want to pause. We don't need to wonder anymore why they have the zombie apocalypse on the U.S. Center for Disease Control, because this is a cover for what is being done. The Pandemic Influenza Preparedness Framework Advisory Group, the Georgetown University Medical Center in the Netherlands, the National Institute of Health, which is actually Mossad, and the World Health Organization, the World Bank Group, the National Institutes of Health, and the Ministry of Health of Russian Federation, the Forum for Microbial Threats, National Academics, Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine in the United States, Department of Health and Social Care in England. The list goes on, and they title this the list of informants. So what everyone needs to understand is this is a worldwide effort.
A global effort to eliminate the populace, and not just eliminate them, but those who survive will be the elite. The Ubermensch who have successfully become transhuman. They are hosting a computer-brain interface successfully, and rather than being 24/7 addled and demented and disturbed by it like me, are being given the gifts of like an autist or a Rain Man.
Now let's pause for a minute because I have to check in with Chris.
Yeah, I was just about to let you guys know we've got about 15 minutes left, and if we could, I'd like to get to any possible solutions for this in the time period that we have left.
Yeah, that's actually a big thing about what I've been wanting to offer people, because when this first started happening to me, I was trying to figure out, what do I do? I mean, it's in me. I can't get rid of it. I'm not a magician, and it's a defilement. So there was a person that's important to me that we were talking about, should we end our lives? Not because we're depressed, but because we don't want to live as this. And I took the decision not to, because I wanted to help everybody else that's still existing on this planet. And as we need a leadership team for those of us that are at the place that I'm at, because when others come to that place, of targeting and destruction. They are going to need spiritual warfare and physical and
Death Row record label. They are all puppets 100% from Suge Knight all the way down to the Snoop Dogg that you see on screen. All of them is puppets put on by the damn elite. And a lot of people not gonna understand how to program the youths. Okay, now this Snoop Dogg that you see on screen right here, yes, it's a fake character, 100% in. You can try me if you want, but they put on this one with the ranks and everything. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna break down the death row, starting from the Snoop Dogg right here. Let's get into it and break him down. Let's go.
Snoop had gotten into an altercation verbally with this kid, Philip Walter Marion, and so they had
This Walter Marion right there, a fucking made up name for the dumb people. They're not gonna get it. This is all fake right here to build up this Snoop Dogg character. So-called murderer. Murder was the case. Yes, he did the song before he so-called commit this murder. It's 100% fake, all by design, and people slept.
arguing a few different times, and I think it was a little gang taunting going back and forth. Later on, and so they had been arguing a few different times, and I think it was a little gang taunting going back.
If you didn't show this, it wouldn't make no sense, okay? There you go with your 3, the C3 right there for your 33, along with your G. A lot of people don't get it. The whole gang banging shit designed by the free.
The hardest part about a writing assignment is getting started. I'll use Grammarly to illustrate how AI...
They need to do with Larry Hoover what they done with Tookie Williams during the Rocky King ride. Who? Mary. Memon ain't done nothing in 50 years I ain't heard of. But he done helped us. He gave us a blueprint called Growth and Development. He took gangster. He tried to remove gangster from the culture because we're not Sicilian. That man had what they call a gang structured as a 501c3 when 501c3s were first created. They said it was a gang. That man had what they call a gang structured as a 501c3 when 501c3s were first created. They said it was a gang. They hurt us. They hurt us. They hurt us. Let me just say this, homie. Today's GDs and BDs, they need to hear his voice. They need to do with Larry Hoover what they done with Tookie Williams during the Rocky King ride. It'll bring a lot of peace to Chicago. Right. If they gave this man an opportunity to speak to our children, our black youth, I think in 1 month his words could stop drill music. If they gave us 1 month of Larry Hoover, his take, his perception, his opinions, his feelings on our culture.
nigga, them niggas fight over that little shit. You hear me? Man, them niggas kill behind this shit. And I stole it from the military. And it elevated my mind. I didn't know those 6-point stars and come homie, that shit elevated. I was 10. So I would study that shit in the midst of listening to Tupac music from almost 17 to 21. So nigga, I'm really growth and development. That's how I was able to quit gangbanging. It gave me a concept of knowledge. And I stole that literature. And nigga, them niggas fight over that literature shit. You hear me? Man, them niggas kill behind this shit. And I stole it from the literature. And it elevated my mind. I didn't know those 6-point stars and come homie, that shit elevated. I was 10. So I would study that shit in the midst of listening to Tupac music from almost 17 to 21. grow. To teach. And I stole the literature. And me, them niggas fight over that literature shit. You hear me? Man, them niggas kill behind this shit. And I stole them niggas literature. And it elevated my mind. I didn't know those 6-point stars and how many that shit elevated. I was a teen. So I was studying that shit in the midst of listening to Tupac music from.
We got about the chorus. The original rock the bar. Right? Yeah. They got Father, Holy Spirit, God in the middle. That's in the first, that's the thing in the full. And you got Son. They always got to link individual consciousness with Christ. Right? And you got they say soul, quarrel, meditation, and practice. And then in the middle of that upside down system, you got man, then you got body, some food and get it some exercise. And on the other side it says spirit, love, compassion. And down on the bottom the yoga, like as far as yoga, which is open oneself to higher states of consciousness with the key principles of the king. Of the rock or the yoga or rock therapy.
Almost 17 to 21. So nigga, I'm really growth and development. That's how I was able to quit gangbanging. It gave me a concept of knowledge, and it gave me a thirst for knowledge, because I didn't know gangsters had knowledge until I got that literature. Larry Hoover is a camera that's been put in the closet for a long time, homie. But
what he called counsel. I mean, counsel.
He left some jewels in that literature. That literature should be taken to Congress. Congress should look at Larry Hoover's literature to teach it. And I stole the literature. And me, them niggas fight over that literature shit. You hear me? Man, them niggas kill behind this shit. And I stole them niggas literature. And it elevated my mind. I didn't know those 6-point stars and how many that shit elevated. I was a teen. So I was studying that shit in the midst of listening to Tupac music from almost.
Another one says body, thought, body, mind, soul, son, Holy Spirit, body, heart,
17 to 21. So nigga, I'm really.
Right, and then you got the body. Maya is physical, or in the Ethiopic case, what it say? Kata Walil, Kata, what it say? The Walido, the union of Yah and man in the body.
Really growth and development. That's how I was able to quit gangbanging. It gave me a concept of knowledge, and it gave me a thirst for knowledge, because I didn't know gangsters had knowledge until I got that literature. Larry Hoover is a camera that's been put in the closet for a long time, homie. But he left some jewels in that literature. That literature should be taken to Congress. Congress should look at Larry Hoover's literature to teach it. And I stole the literature. And me, them niggas fight over that literature shit. You hear me? Man, them niggas kill behind this shit.
some people, they're not gonna get it. This is all fake right here to build up this Snoop Dogg character, so-called murderer. Murder was the case. Yes, he did the song before he so-called commit this murder. It's 100% fake, all by design, and people slept.
Arguing a few different times, and I think it was a little game, taunting, going back and forth. Later on, and so they had been arguing a few different times, and I think it was a little game, taunting, going back.
If you didn't show this, it wouldn't make no sense, okay? There you go with your 3, the C3 right there for your 33, along with your G. A lot of people don't get it. The whole gangbanging shit designed by the Freemasonry. That's why their signs is the one that they flash on the damn sign and the and, okay?
Back and forth. Later on, Snoop and his bodyguard, he was driving down the street in the Jeep, and he went back and forth with this guy. And allegedly,
all made up. Watch this one reading off a fucking script. They can never fool the Mag channel. No way. This one reading off a script is a whole thing scripted. The whole lifestyle, all of them on the death row records, all scripted. No doubt it.
he was trying to say something to them.
He had a gun, and, he was going for it. And
where did you see his gun? Did he have a gun and he was going for it? Where was his gun at? It was already in his hand, it was in his waist, it was in his pocket. Where was the gun? He was going for it in his car. All bullshit to make this Snoop Dogg look like a fucking gangster. 100% fakery.
And God reacted, like he was supposed to do.
Snoop's bodyguard shot and killed for Baltimore.
All set up, people. All by design. Snoop Dogg in this blood right here for Freemasonry. So also for your Crip, I already told you it's designed by the Freemasonry. All this gang bullshit they're pushing on the masses. This Snoop Dogg right here holding the Baphomet sign on the hand.
It was traumatic and didn't know what to do and who to turn to.
I did receive a phone call about what happened. We didn't turn Snoop in right then and there. Snoop was in hiding for a little bit.
All bullshit people to make this one look like a gangster. You bought it? It's a fake shit 100%. Wasn't a gangster from the jump.
I wanted to turn myself in because I didn't want to be, looked at as somebody who did a crime and running. I'm innocent, and I want to go turn myself in and let them know what happened.
Death Row's known all afternoon that they're going to have to turn Snoop in, but they don't because...
All are made up for the character, okay? It's made up so Snoop Dogg can get arrested on the fucking MTV award show, which is a fucking devil ritual, and the dumb masses, they're not gonna get it. You go wake your ass up.
Same week for the MTV Music Awards. This is a promotion pre-booked for Doggy Style. Hi, Kurt Loder.
And I'm Tabitha Soren. Welcome to Opening Act, the MTV News Pre-Video Music Awards special. Let's see who call was that. Who's call?
All a plan, people, for the dumb masses to see in plain sight that the police wanted Snoop Dogg. Yes, what other place is good to put it on than MTV Award? You're dumb as a boxer off if you think it's real. All set up so the world can see Snoop Dogg go to jail as a fucking gangster Crip. Wake your ass up.
Oh, dude. That was a shit call.
All fake. The whole thing is fake. The whole fucking thing. 100% in.
It wasn't a Snoop decision. It was what you were supposed to do.
No, I picked him because I knew one thing.
Watch this one right here in the orange shirt for Freemasonry. What do you think? This one is the gatekeeper for all of them. Yes, he played that role as the so-called tough guy, but he's a 100% fake. No doubt about it. No fucking gangster. You understand? Yes, the elite plan Suge Knight right there to push this gangster rap on the masses. They're not gonna get it.
For me to make this dude the most hottest artist in the world, people gotta see him. So I know we taking up as a chance, but at the same time, it's his job to be an artist and promote this stuff. And then when they come to arrest him, it's my
Snoop right there holding the Illuminati pyramid right there. Don't be trick masses. That's what he's doing right there on all these pyramids on the shirt, all by design. Yes, he signed in all the way, sold his soul out. Yes, for riches and fame. And he get to trick the dumb masses with the psyop. He never shoot nobody. The bodyguard didn't shoot nobody. The whole thing is fake.
job to get him out of there.
Me and Snoop rolled together to that shop. Went through all the photos. This water is also a damn psyop operator. You see him reading his script? All of them work their brain on the masses, the whole death row. This one is a sodomite also on the masses. Dog would never sell that much records if he wasn't so-called playing the life that he have on record, okay? Playing the life as a gangster, all made up character.
That's for Snoop. We've got Sheriff's Department and LAPD and everybody outside, and Suge made an agreement. Let's do this like dignified. Let's not make a perk walk out of it.
Dr. Dre and Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Yo, what's up, what's up? Let him
plan this shit right here for the dumb people, for it to be believable. Wow, and they bought it.
go on, and that then he would quietly go out and turn himself in.
Here's Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and George Clinton.
Imagine the natural pressures of having the spotlight on you like that, having the whole label's momentum on your back. He knew his freedom might be at stake.
And,
all set up, people. All set up for the dumb people. You're not getting it.
the winner is M.O.
Snoop turns himself.
Don't worry about it, people. This is exactly what they did for the record. Don't doubt when I tell you. There go your BK right there, okay, for your 211, and then you have your 3 6s. Oh, wow. This is all planned for the dumb masses with this fake Snoop Dogg to build up his character right here. And I'm going to show you. Take a listen to Suge Knight himself tell you that Snoop Dogg is a fake character. Listen to this right here. This is Suge Knight right here. Take a listen. Hold on, it's coming. Let's go.
Only one person ever in the whole United States, especially LA, that some people used to get jumped into the game, some people used to be a part of the game, some people were born into the game, so their family was a part of the game. There's only one person that paid money to be involved in the game, and that was Snoop. Snoop paid to be in the game. You say Snoop Dogg paid to get into the game? Yeah, he paid to be in the game. He's still not in the game.
I've had Snoop on the show. He seems like a very nice guy. I've never met Dr. Dre.
You know one thing? I'm gonna tell you something. I don't have nothing to
Talented guy.
Snoop is a very, very nice kid. Right. If you talk to his mama, or you talk to anybody that know him, when I met Snoop, the guy he used to wear a backpack on his back.
Really?
And his stage name was Snooper Duper. Right. Which he was dressed like the 5 Heartbeats. If you remember the first videos we done, like Deep Cover or G-Thing, he had the special Ed haircut.
Yeah.
But this guy was a really, really nice kid.
Right, so you reinvented him.
So we gave him an image, sure enough.
Yeah.
And at one time, Snoop wanted to be a down move, better yet a power move. And a lot of people who really been around knew this. See, Snoop was a situation where he was, if you look back in the early days, he was wearing the red shirts and the burgundy shirts. One time on the Soul Train Award, he had the whole red flag on, Aunt Your Mama style. But one of the things, business is more important than anything. And I learned in this business that from Quick to Homeboy and all, but Quick started off as banging on his records. And then when somebody asked him what do TTP stand for, according to his interviews, he told them Total Track Production, even though it stands for Treetop Power Root, and that really hurt his career. So I talked to Snoop. I said, listen, you can't go around being something that you totally different from the neighborhood you from. Right? You from Long Beach, right? He said, yeah. I said, what do they have in Long Beach? I said, well, they got 20s, they got Insanes, they got 19 streets. They don't have no blood, so you can't be blood. Right. So therefore, pick one. I didn't know he was going to pick all 3. He went from Insanes to 20s to 19 streets.
So you get my point, what he's saying right there, basically. Okay, Snoop Dogg was created, the damn character was created, no doubt about it, by the damn elite, 100% to put on the masses. That's what you need to know. It was all set up with Suge as the damn foreman of the whole fucking operation of the death row. That's what you need to know. They all puppets. Let's go.
Himself in for first-degree murder. Immediately, Suge gets him released on $1 million bond.
Immediately, Suge get him released on a $1 million ban. What I tell you, people, it was all by design. The whole elite set up this shit right here for the dumb masses. They're not gonna get it. Yes, Suge Knight is a part of it, 100%. Knee deep in the Freemasonry. They're the one who put him on. Yes, And that's why they let out Snoop so-called for the fake shit. All on the dumb people right here. So now you go believe that Snoop Dogg is really a gangster. And yes, you go believe that Suge Knight is really a big-time mobster pulling strings. You need to wake your ass up. That's so all of them get their damn title on the dumb people.
10 p.m. house arrest.
I'm like, damn, man, you got a murder and you out? Sure, made shit happen.
Suge made shit happen. You see what I tell you? So now Suge got the big top rank right here that can make shit happen. And you have a Snoop Dogg, which is a gangster that's shooting people and get out on the street. It's bullshit.
Has this reputation he's building, creating this impression.
Reputation that they're building, I told you people, it's a fake character. All of them, fake reputation, all of them have on the so-called death row. It's the reason why they name it death row, all by design.
Of kind of vulnerability.
Snoop was all over the news when this story broke.
That was the case that they gave me, the song that he did, all by design. I already told you, all of them, whether they go die or whatever, you go basically hear them tell you in the damn songs, wow.
It was completely a tragedy because Snoop was our guy that we were banking heavy for to be successful and represent Long Beach.
I was scared for him.
All bullshit, people. And I already told you, all gang signs, Freemasonry, 100%. You didn't know? Okay.
A kid is dead, and they told me I had something to do with it. Possibly I can get the death penalty for this shit.
Gotta mess Snoop head up. You gotta remember, you just came from these sidewalks out here not having nothing to having something. To now you gotta.
LBC right there, you know what that is? All skull and bones, okay? Numbers don't come in no order. That's L for your number 3, B for 2, C for 3. Okay, no doubt about it.
Murder case.
And the possibility of him going to jail forever and everything we worked for hard for us is gone. It's blown out the window. It was a scary time.
All of them is fake characters and the masses. Now, let's get into another one. Let me break down this death row right here.
In 1989, I signed Tupac to my company, which was TNT Records. He was just such an energetic, humble, smart guy that had incredible stories through his lyrics. And we were trying to get him a record deal. We weren't having a lot of success at that time.
By the way, every fucking thing coming out of his mouth, all bullshit. You gotta understand, Tupac was destined to be one of the top rappers in America. That's what you need to understand. In the world, it was all planned and by design. They grow Tupac, okay? They grew him from he was a baby to be the so-called rapper, right?
He's Underground was signed to my label.
There you go right here. The so-called underground, digital underground. Wow, you better wake your ass up.
And so I went to shop.
There you go, your shot G right here. 100% puppet with your 1 and 2 right here for your number 3. And your 13 over here. All by design. Wake your ass up. Freemason hat right there. Shot G's a big old puppet wearing a mask.
And said, was there any way we can take him on the road with Digital Underground?
I was like, you can do some background rap and he can catch.
Yeah, of course you go around the bandana said Tupac. I already told you because it's a big old character. And this one play a major role in that Tupac shit. 100% is Shot G.
Some shit to be a roadie. We can always use another Humpty dancer.
We can always use another Humpty dancer. All playing on the dumb masses. There you go right there. This one right here called Shot G. With this Tupac right here, a devil puppet in plain sight. You slept, go to drama school, whole life to become a gangster, and the dumb people never get it. What you think? Putting on a show for the dumb people.
I'm sure that was a shot to his ego.
Take a look. It was a shot to his ego. Wow. Wow. This is what they give Tupac right here. Right here. Okay?
But he held it down.
All the way in. He's a satanic puppet. You better know. No doubt about it.
As we toured, each big Coliseum show always had an in-town club after party. The after parties is where Pac started making his name and his presence known throughout the United States. He would take the mic and do his thing.
In the summer of 91, there was a new record company, Interscope, and they were looking for...
There was a new record company, Interscope, yeah, right. part of the fucking elite plan, yes, to take over the music business from back in the day. Yes, it was continuing right there with the Interscope, no doubt about it. All satanic puppet run it.
Or hip-hop artists.
Interscope. New Pac had something special. So in August 91, he did the Interscope deal.
Tupac is signed as an artist before Death Row had made a penny. Before Suge and Death Row themselves made a distribution deal with Interscope.
Yes, now they have to start building this Pac character right here for him to be the so-called gangster rapper, okay? And start this East Coast and West Coast beef, which is all government shit 100%, and it's so fake it don't make no sense.
When his first record was appearing on MTV, Tupac was beaten in the head.
One thing you gotta understand about this Afina Shakur is another character they put on the masses. The whole Tupac family life, the whole thing is fucking fake and put together by the elite. You never see Tupac on a real photo with this one right here. All fucking Photoshop. Why? It's a fucking...
Very badly.
I call this press...
Your Pac right here. 100% psyop operator. There's a reason why they put him on. You're not getting it. It's a puppet.
I'm to announce that I have filed a $10 million claim against 2 Oakland police. I call this press conference to announce that I have filed a $10 million claim.
This guy right here got a permit on the shirt right there. Wow, all by design. 7-4 on the mic and your number 11. Wow.
Against 2 Oakland police officers and the city of Oakland on behalf of Tupac.
The police officer stopped me on the sidewalk. That's
all fake people. This is how you get the Tupac character right here. Yes, beaten by the police, shoot police, got shot. Every fucking thing is fake. The whole fucking Tupac life put together and brought to you so you can have this one as a hider and a hero. Yes, and most people bought it with a big old bam.
my ID. They sweated me about my name. They were charging me with jaywalking. The officers said, "You are not above the law. You have to learn your place." Put my hand out to get the citation. Next thing I know, my face was being buried into the concrete, and I was laying face down in the gutter, waking up from being unconscious.
What gutter? You thought you was walking in the street. You was go charged for jaywalking. What gutter? It's fake, people.
Conscious and cuffs with the rat on my face, and I'm going to jail for resisting arrest.
That shit is traumatic, but that was a rite of passage. He come from a family where relatives were killed by the police.
It's a bullshit, 100% made up. How many Tupac got that got killed by the police? It's fakery, all fakery. You got to build up this Tupac character. You would never work on this bit of truth, never.
Think about it. If you stop in the streets and you show your ID and you still getting sweated because of your name.
What do you mean your name? The name is a fucking made up name. The whole thing is made up. This Tupac. Wow, people just dumb. 100%.
My name makes me a criminal?
Look at this fake shit right here. You wouldn't understand. It's a fake shit. No doubt about it. All fakery. Yes, now we doing the one eye symbol to shout out to the one eye God, cause nothing wrong with him. It's fake. All made up for the dumb people. Are you dumb? Yes, we're gone ahead and fall for this one right here. Tupac is a fake character.
It's about me being a young black male and I was lynched in broad daylight.
Of course he was lynched, holding the 3 6s on the hand sign right there. Of course they like to use that word lynch, all fucking to set off the masses, all fucking lie, dumb shit.
And then take it.
This mic said 32 right there. There you go. Wow, they never miss.
To jail for that.
All faker people, take a look at this. All Hollywood shit. They give you a fucking actor right here. Go to drama school his whole life. Learn how to trick the masses. Learn how to play on the world stage and you bought it. You thought this one is a gangster? No way. Listen to Snoop Dogg right here. Will basically tell you that this one ain't no damn gangster. Listen to him right here. Take a listen. Coming. All of them tricking the damn masses. No doubt about it. Or break it all the way down. Snoop Dogg.
what they doing and trying to become famous. His famous became, man, Pac shot 2 police officers. Where in Atlanta, for real? Man, Pac did this over here, for real. Something happened in L.A. that y'all don't know about. When some niggas tried to run up on him and jack him, he pulled that thing out.
He's a fucking liar, 100%. He's saying that happened and he's the only one who know about it. Tupac so-called shot at some gangster in L.A. back in the days. Remember, they never tell you that this Pac right here grew up in L.A. They say he grew up in New York, okay? And then he finally go to L.A. It's bullshit. I'll go to Oakland. Fakery at its best right here.
Thing out and had the pop at some niggas in L.A. years back. Which we got the word of mouth and we respect him that much more. And to me, that's what he was. He was one of them, he do something and the word of mouth get out. He didn't really speak on it. You spoke on it, or you
No, the fucking mainstream media spoke about it. That's how the masses get it. What's wrong with you, Snoop? You can't trick the crowd. You already know, people. This one is already a satanic puppet. Of course, he go stand up for the damn Tupac. You know it's a fake character all the way in.
Legend based off of the fact that, you know, man, I heard Pac shot 2 police officers. Did he? I don't know. They said he did.
Okay.
Then you see the movie, you see the police officers get shot. You're like, damn, it must be true.
Exactly. You saw the movie. They tell you Tupac got shot or he shot 2 police officers. Yes, you saw it in the movie. Of course, you're going to believe it 100%. That's how they set it up for the dumb people to follow Hollywood, no doubt.
After he had been beaten by the Oakland police, that changed Tupac. Young black men go through that process.
This is how they tell you that the Tupac switch over from burned having a baby to all out gangster. Yes, because of the police rough him up. That's how they do it, people. 100%. I guess he was traumatized by what happened with the police, beat him down, and now he's a all out gangster calling out everybody. Wow, this is all bullshit. They sell the dumb people with this Afina Shakur right here. Probably a damn drug.
You get great anger at the reality of life for a young black male.
Watch this right here. Watch this Afina Shakur. All of them faking the masses. This one right here, Freemason hand sign right there. Now let's get into more.
I want to give a shout out to my borough. Brooklyn is up in there.
By the way,
I want to give a shout out to my borough. Brooklyn.
Just in case you don't know, this one play a big old role in the psyop, okay? This one play a character of the one who ate the so-called Tupac character, or the enemy of the Tupac character. This one is a fake character all the way in. It's big and small. That's what you need to know. It wouldn't have happened the way it's supposed to happen without this one right here playing the enemy of the so-called Tupac. Watch this.
March of 1996, at the Soul Train Music Awards, man, well, they're gonna rush that.
All fake shit set up for the dumb masses with this Tupac right here with the gloves on for Freemasonry and have the fatigue on. And watch your boy right here in the purple. Wow, all by design.
Stage while Biggie was on that stage.
We get to the award, it's like a real live army coming in. You know what I mean? Security looking like, whoa, what's all this going on?
Tupac, myself, Suge, we went through the VIP area. That's when we...
Watch this right here. Watch your Pac right here. Trick the masses with this so-called sign. Say it's the West Coast. It's the number 3 for Freemasonry. You notice he put it to the high. When you go wake your ass up. This is a fake guy right here. They bring to the masses. And yes, you fall in love with it. Some people call him God. Yes, I call him the fraud. Give him the boot. Bam.
Saw Bad Boys and some Southside competitors coming out with them.
When we hit the parking lot, there was a lot of clowning. A lot of clowning.
This is the West Coast hip-hop representing constantly.
I was adamant about whatever it was to be.
This one right here with the so-called thug life and the damn hat right there. This is how they do it. This one is the diamond Freemasonry and the damn bandana. Wow, tricking the masses like tough guy right here. Skull and bones and the Tupac shirt. Wow, I told you people, all set up to trick down the masses.
He had between Biggie and him.
There you go. All of them dressed up in purple. Both of them right there and the black and white on the head. Wow. Tupac sitting right there for the sun ray with these bushes over the head.
Everything they do is by design. You think it's a joke?
It was serious. And Pac wanted him to know, you on my turf. You on the west side. We run over here. We run LA.
You can't talk no shit till you show me everybody that's represented. What Tupac, Biggie, and all that, that's the first time they ran.
There you go. The biggest Smalls right there. They paint this one black right here. Don't tell me shit. It's a fucking character with the Jesus piece that he push on the masses. The damn devil worshippers right there wear it. That's what you need to know. And there you go. The same hand sign as Pac. Okay? Both of them is the same Freemasonry, flashing the number 3 and the hand sign, and you slept. You say it's for East and West Coast. Wow. What happened to when you see they flash it on both hands? What the fuck it mean? You better wake up. It's a satanic earth, and these people on the world stage tricking the dumb people.
And kill each other. Just these people tried to kill him and got him shot, and Pac cussed the motherfucker out.
The Pac right here, holding the back. There you go. It's nothing new under the sun. This Tupac right here, worship the Baphomet, the damn goat god. That's who he sell his soul to. That's why you know his name. Okay? There you go. 2 signs on the hand for your Baphomet.
I know there's one of the guys by the name of Keefy D. Had his gun, pulled it out.
All bullshit. All made up. All of them play a role in this dumb movie that they're playing on the dumb people.
I'm just telling them, don't raise the gun, Keefy, please, you know. Don't raise the gun, brother. I'm going crazy, and you telling me, give me the gun, give me the gun. Luckily, LAPD stepped in the middle, and the Keefy D took off and ran.
Everybody think that Pac is a loose cannon shooting at people. This bullshit. It's 100% fakery, no doubt about it. This is a character right here they put on the masses, and they bought it. Wow. I never see another lousy actor than Tupac tricking the dumb people, and they can't see it.
Reportedly pulled a weapon on New York rapper Notorious B.I.G.
Forrest, he pulled a gun on fucking Biggie so they could start the dumb beef. It's fakery. It's all fucking fake. No doubt about it.
It's just ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? But
there you go with the Biggie Smalls. They all lying.
Also understand that if you was to get shot.
This right here, so-called get shot 5 times, 3 to the head there. Look at him right there. Wow, just got shot in the head a day before. And yes, he's a faker, 100%. So-called get shot in the hand. It's all fucking fake, 100%. I already did a video and break it down. This is all a show for the dumb masses. If you buy it, yes, he's a good actor, but it's never real, okay?
5 times, and mine is just completely spinning, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, you go say
you're confused about your situation.
Yes, his mind's spinning because you want to sell the masses that he really got shot. This one knows 100% fake.
There is no mercy, Mom. You know what I mean? I'm not out here on no wild shit like I was before. This is not the same Tupac. Believe me.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. They act like he was a cool dude and he changed over. Because a dramatic situation that he's been in. It's all fucking fakery.
Very pissed off. And this ain't, don't tell me.
The same Tupac right here. Give you the one-eye symbol. Got the crown right there in the nose. All symbolic to the devil people. You don't believe me? Why you don't know that this one right here is a satanic puppet? You always sleep. I'm telling you.
Ain't nothing wrong, and we should all be together. If you're gonna act like you a gangster or a G or the king of New York, I'm expect that. And when you don't come through, then I'm gonna crush your empire. And that's what it's time for.
Vibes and Source magazine basically helped to push it on the dumb masses. And I told you, all the shit that Tupac wear on the chain, all symbolic to the devil people. Just in case you don't know.
That's just not talk. It was like gunpowder and dynamite. And at some point it was going to blow up.
All bullshit people, the whole death row, all set up for the dumb masses, all fake character. Let's get in.
First time I met Suge Knight was at the restaurant in LA called Palm Restaurant. And
this is how they sell you that this so-called Suge Knight is a bad guy out there bullying people. Just like you see in the movies with the so-called mob with John Gotti and them. They basically have the whole world turned upside down when they come through. They just come, act all normal, shut down the whole place just to talk to one person. Just a damn movie, 100% in. Listen.
Sitting there eating, nice meal, and all of a sudden
this one is named Vanilla Ice right here. Wonder of the masses, but it is a satanic puppet, no doubt, and he always go on spotlight. Spotlight will always be on him at some point, you understand? He is a satanic puppet here,
to trick the masses like Suge Knight is a bad man or he's a mobster, so-called gangster. You got like fuck all the way up. He's not even close to being a gangster.
These guys looked like a football team showed up. You know, it was very intimidating to see these guys. They were bigger than my bodyguards, you know, and a bunch of them. And they pretty much grabbed my bodyguard, pulled him out, and sat down next to me right there and started talking to me. How you doing? Uninvited. Totally uninvited. I didn't even know him. See him again? Sure did. Saw him again a few months later. He did the same thing, just kind of showed up to me, said hi, and then left. Still think
just like the mobster in the movie, it's the same way they paint this Suge Knight right here.
Wow. Oh, wow, this guy knows where I'm at all times. How does he know where I'm at? You know? What's going on here?
Knight told us, before he knew we had talked with Ben Winkle.
There go your Suge Knight right here, 100% fake. And just in case you don't know, yes, he's never a gangster. Never with a blood. No doubt about it. He's fake. No doubt about it.
That it was all very friendly.
He agreed to everything. There was no problem. And wait, he agreed to everything? I mean, you know, he said the guy wrote the song. He didn't have a problem with it. He said,
that's not what he says at all.
I had my bodyguards who had guns, and they had their people which had guns, and they had us outpowered and outnumbered.
Talking
outpowered and outnumbered. It's bullshit, people. 100%. And as you can see, it's 11-6 right there for your 66 with your November 6. Wow, 1996. That's your 36s right there. You better wake up.
Publicly about it for the first time, Ben Winkle describes a terrifying night in his suite at a Beverly Hills hotel when he says Suge Knight showed up with 6 other men.
Rough force is 6. They're never gonna leave out their number, no doubt.
One of my bodyguards up. They roughed everybody else and my whole entourage up. Suge took me out on the balcony, started talking to me personally. On the balcony, high above, like 15 floors.
And of course it's 15 for your number 6. This one is a liar. All to paint Suge Knight as some kind of mobster.
He had me look over there.
He's reading his fucking script. I never miss people. That's what they're doing.
Show me how high I was up there. You scared?
You have your photo right here holding the Illuminati pyramid on the hand sign, lying to the masses. Wow. They're never gonna make this video show, people. They're not gonna let this one pass. I hit them with the bag.
I needed to wear a diaper on that day. I was very scared.
On the balcony, Ben Winkle
still holding the Illuminati pyramid. Wow.
Says Suge Knight told him to sign over points from the song to a...
Wow. 2X right there on the shirt of this puppet right here. What do you think it stands for? 2 6s.
Wow. Over points from the song to a man named Mario Lavelle Johnson.
Mario Lavelle. Wow. MM for your 33. No doubt about it.
Over points from the song to a man named Mario Lavelle Johnson.
Johnson is also 33 in numerology. Wow.
Who is Mario Lavelle Johnson? His name is listed. That's the guy that Suge Knight brought over there that was an acquaintance of mine that has nothing to do with that song. You signed over the rights? Signed over the rights to him. So that Suge and them could get paid for it.
So Mario Lavelle Johnson didn't write that song?
No way.
How much were those points worth?
4 million, 3 million, anywhere between that.
4 million, 3 million for your number 7.
$3 or $4 million.
And you just signed it?
Signed it. And walked away alive.
He says,
wow. So Suge Knight was going to kill him if he never signed over the song. It's fakery. That song is a mainstream song. That's what you need to know. Right by the elite, just in case you're dumb. Now, let's play this right here with Snoop Dogg. Basically, go tell you the truth that this guy right here, this Suge Knight is not a real blood, not a gangster by a long shot. He's just a faker, 100%.
I don't pay attention to nobody beats from my own, you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm looking at their shit, I'm liable to get socked in the back of the head. So I'm going to pay attention to mine and not worry about theirs.
Righteous. I'm kind of surprised and shocked to see you in what I thought was red, but Richie correct me, told me it was burgundy.
Yeah, it's burgundy, but I do wear red. My son's football team is red and gray. And I don't got no color lines, you know what I'm saying? I don't hate bloods. I got a lot of homies that's blood.
None of y'all is gangster. Neither Suge or fucking Snoop Dogg. That's what you need to know. Both of them is lying on the dumb people. They're not gonna get it.
That's, you know, real close friends of mine, just loved ones. I got family from over there, so, you know, it's just one particular fake blood I don't like, which is Suge Knight, which y'all know he ain't no real with no way. You know, that's the only one I got a problem with. The rest of them I'm cool with, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, just some harshness.
it is. This one never known blood. Yes, and you hear it from right there, Snoop
I don't
mouth.
pay attention to nobody beats with my own, you know what I'm saying? Because if I'm looking at their shit, I might be get socked in the back of the head. So I'm going to pay attention to mine and not worry about theirs.
That's all.
You had a number of men there with guns. You then took them out to the balcony. And you said you're going to sign over the rights. Did you do that? No, it never happened? Never happened. You didn't take them out to the balcony? No, that's
See, at one point, this one go kind of admit it because, yes, they need the rank on the Suge Knight for doing that. It's all fake people. Every rumor you hear so-called coming from the death row, so-called violence in the camp is bullshit, all made up.
Sounds like what occurs in other police reports involving you. Again and again, there's a pattern where you do that. That's not true. But in our primetime investigation, we found one court case after another in which Knight has pleaded guilty to criminal...
Exactly. And he's still in the fucking street. Do we ever face jail time, them time? No way. There go your X for your 6 again. They are lying to the masses. It's not real. Suge Knight never spent a day in jail. He's just a satanic puppet. No doubt.
Charges involving vicious assaults, beatings, a pistol ripping, and on and on.
That's how you get it, people. That's how you get it. All those fucking fake crimes that Suge Knight committed, that's how you get it right there. They all fake. The whole death row plan for the dumb masses. Now, as far as the Tupac, we go get into the so-called Tupac mama death, Afina Shakur. Let's go. The whole fucking thing is fake. Let's go.
Tupac Shakur's mother, Afina Shakur Davis, passed away last night. I want to point out that Afina was a well-known and respected member of our community here in Southern Marin County, and we share this loss this morning. What I can share with you at this point is the fact that last night, just before 9:30, our
9:30 right there for your 3 6s. Yes, the 9 is that's 6. That's what you need to know. Any way you want to take it, it's the same damn thing.
Sheriff's Comm Center received a 911 phone call reporting that
911. They always have to mention that. No doubt about it. Real satanic shit.
A woman in distress at her home here in Sausalito. Deputies and fire personnel from both Marin and Southern Marin fire departments responded. Upon their arrival, immediately began to provide CPR to Ms.
Wow, okay, so they get there and start CPR. Wow, it's fake, people. Afina Shakur, so-called diet 69. The whole fucking shit is fake. No doubt about it.
Shakur. She was immediately transported to a local hospital where she was treated at the hospital by physicians there for approximately 1 hour, at which point they determined that she had in fact died. From what is believed...
Okay, so they treat her and then they find out that she died. So they was treating a dead person. That's what it sounds like you're saying. It's nothing but fake. And as I say, the 69, that's when she died, so-called. There go your 69 right there. Break your ass up.
Be some type of a cardiac event. Exactly what that was is unknown at this point. There's going to be further follow-up by the physicians along with our own coroner's office at the sheriff's office.
Tupac already tell you that he was a crackhead, okay? So that's what it is. No doubt about it. Of course, he will die from some type of difficulties. Probably was smoking crack. They go sell the masses. Yes, the whole death row shit. Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and also your boy Suge Knight. They all fake 100% to create a death row record. Mad. I'm not gone.
First, I would like to start this video by saying that Ethiopia has never been colonized. Ethiopians are not the offspring of ancient Arabs who went to East Africa. This is a false narrative that is constantly regurgitated by people who have not taken the time to study and understand Ethiopian culture and customs even at the basic level. Ethiopians are not the offspring of ancient Arabs. Arabs who moved to East Africa and intermarried with the local people 3,000 years ago. This claim has been proven false by true scholars and linguists in Africa and Europe as well. The Semitic language of Ethiopia, Ge'ez, does not have roots in any other place in the world. It is not a language derived from Arabic, Hebrew, or Syriac, as some would like to assume. In fact, Ge'ez developed independently from the Proto-Afro-Asiatic language. What is Proto-Afro-Asiatic? Proto means primitive or original. Proto-Afro-Asiatic, sometimes also referred to as Proto-Afro-Asian, is the reconstructed proto-language from which all modern Afro-Asiatic languages are descended, including ancient Egyptian. Obviously, Afro stands for African and Asiatic stands for like Asian, to denote that this is a language with African and so-called West Asian roots. Though estimations vary widely, it is believed by scholars to have been spoken as a single language around 12,000 to 18,000 years ago. That is between 16,000 and 10,000 BC. The Afro-Asiatic Heimat, which is a German word for original homeland, is the hypothetical place where speakers of the Proto-Afro-Asiatic language lived 12,000 to 18,000 years ago in a single linguistic community or complex of communities. Before this original language dispersed geographically and divided into separate, distinct languages, this area where Proto-Afro-Asiatic was spoken is known as the original homeland, or in the German tongue, your Heimat. Most scholars agree it was located within a region of Northeast Africa. Now, Roger Blench has a strong theory that southwestern Ethiopia was the Proto-Afro-Asiatic homeland, or your Heimat, which is located in or around the Omo Valley, citing the high internal diversification of the Omotic branch and the lack of evidence that Omotic-speaking groups migrated to this region from elsewhere. Compared to scholars like Militarev and Eret, he proposed a time of approximately 10,000 years before the language dispersed. He agreed with Eret that Omotic is Afro-Asiatic and sees the split of northern languages from Omotic as an important early development. Afro-Asiatic languages are today mostly distributed in Africa and the Middle East. Now we need to understand that the
term Middle East was coined by a British journalist. The term Middle East is a political construct coined in the 1850s by the British India Office. During this period, East Africa was called the Orient, and it was split into three distinct areas: the Near East, the Middle East, and the Far East. The Middle Eastern region was particularly important to the British during this period in history, as it served as a buffer region in the defense of British interest in India. The terms made sense for Brits when they first coined it and helped them to designate locations from a Eurocentric perspective. The term Middle East then evolved to become common verbal currency about 121 years ago in 1902 when Alfred Thayer Mahan, a U.S. naval officer and historian, used the term in an article to describe the land between Arabia and India, which means that they were simply describing areas in East Africa. I guess we could reclaim the Middle and Far East Africa and rename Proto-Afro-Asiatic to Proto-East African or even Proto-Ethiopian. This is not as crazy as it sounds. Remember, they have found temples dedicated to Queen Bilqis, the subordinate of Queen Sheba in Saudi Arabia, proving that Saudi Arabia, or at the very least Southern Arabia, was a territory of the vast kingdom of ancient Ethiopia, which stretched to India and Asia. Now, from the Proto-Afro-Asiatic, we have the following branches that sprung forth from the Proto-Afro-Asiatic or Proto-Ethiopic tree, as I like to call it. So you have Proto-Berber, Proto-Cushitic, Proto-Omitic, and Proto-Semitic. Please note that Proto-Berber would have separated from the Proto-Afro-Asiatic tree around 10,000 years ago, since it is a very distinct Afro-Asiatic tongue. From the Proto-Semitic branch, you have East Semitic and West Semitic branches. From the West Semitic branch, there is Ethiopic, or Giz, Modern South Arabian, Old South Arabian, Arabic, and Northwest Semitic. Now, Northwest Semitic includes Hebrew, Aramaic, and the extinct Amorite and Ugaritic languages. Under East Semitic, you have languages like Akkadian, Eblite, and Kishite, which are all now extinct. East Semitic languages were spoken in Mesopotamia in places like Akkad, Assyria, Isin, Larsa, and Babylonia from the 3rd millennium BC until its gradual replacement by Old Aramaic from the West Semitic branch among Mesopotamians by 800 BC. The Akkadian language is named after the city of Akkad, a major center of Mesopotamian civilization during the Akkadian Empire around 2334 to 2154 BC. Eblite and Kishite were also named after their respective cities. In general, languages are normally named after the people who spoke them, lands they originated from, or cities where they thrived. On the contrary, it is not so with the Ethiopic or Giz language. Giz means literally first, which means it is the first language. Therefore, in the Ethiopic or Giz language, to say first, second, and third, you would say Giz, Ka'al, Salis, which means first, second, third. According to my knowledge, there is no language in the world that is named of itself, describing itself as being literally the first. And as is a construct of the word Giz that means free. One of the ancestors of Ethiopian people are Yoktan, known as Joktan in the English Bible. The people of Yoktan were known as the Agazian, which is another name for Ethiopians. Agazian means the free ones. Yoktan was born before the time of Abram or Abraham. Now, most Arabs that we are familiar with in the West boast of their lineage from Adnan rather than Yoktan and are called Arab al-Adnan. According to Arab tradition, the Qahtanites are from South Arabia, unlike the Adnanites, who are from the north of Arabia, descended from Ishmael through Adnan. And there is an Arab tradition that Yoktan was the progenitor of all the purest tribes of southern Arabia, otherwise known as Arab al-Arabiya. The terms Qahtanite and Qahtani refer to Arabs who originate from South Arabia. The term Qahtan is mentioned in multiple ancient Arabian inscriptions found in Yemen, which was also a territory of the ancient kingdom of Queen Sheba of Ethiopia. Again, Arab traditions believe the Qahtani are the original Arabs. In the Bible, in Genesis 10, verse 25 to 29, it tells us that Qahtan or Yoktan is the son of Eber and brother of Peleg, who was named Peleg because in the days of Peleg, the earth was divided. According to the Bible, the sons of Yoktan or Qahtan were Al-Mabad, Shalep, Hazar Mavet, Jera, Hadoram, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havila, and Jobab. To be clear, the Arab al-Arabiya or Qahtani Arabs claim a pre-Abrahamic descent from Yoktan, the son of Eber, who was the great-grandson of Arphaxad, son of Shem. The Arab al-Adnan claimed descent from Ishmael, whose children intermarried with the children of Keturah, the second wife of Abraham, according to the Book of Jubilees or the Book of Divisions. Now, according to Arabs, the Qahtani Arabs or Arab al-Arabiya are the original and purest Arabs. Therefore, the Arab al-Arabiya is not claiming to be a descendant of Ishmael, Abraham, or Keturah. On the other hand, they claim a pre-Abrahamic descent from Yoktan or Qahtan. In Genesis chapter 11, verse 1, it states in the Ge'ez language, and the whole earth had one language and one speech. According to the teaching of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the Ge'ez language was the language of the angels and Adam, the first man. Noah inherited the language directly from Enoch, the Ethiopian, who inherited the language from Enos, the son of Seth, the son of Adam. The tribe of Yoktan inherited it from Noah, and it continued in Ethiopia until Dilnaad, the kingdom of Aksum, and the Zagwe dynasty, where it was the civil and national language of the law. Ethiopians are firstly the offspring of the children of Melchizedek, the son of Cam, otherwise known as Ham, and the children of Abraham. Ethel, otherwise known as Ethiop, which was his throne name, who was the son of Melchizedek, had a daughter named Milke. Milke married Midian, the son of Keturah and Abraham. Their offspring became the Midianite people. If this idea sounds strange to you, go back and watch my video titled Melchizedek, the father of Ethiopia, meets Abraham, the father of the Jews. Moses, the receiver of the Ten Commandments, also marries a Midianite woman, and in the book of Numbers, it tells us Moses married an Ethiopian woman. not Arabs who came to Ethiopia 3,000 years ago. The actual history is much more complex than that. So, who are the Habeshas? The term Habesha was a term coined by Jews fleeing the onslaught and Babylonian captivity. In the time of Jeremiah the prophet, some of those who escaped fled to Egypt, where they were annihilated by Pharaoh Hophra in a cruel way. At that time, the emperor of Ethiopia, Zewari-Nebret, heard of the atrocities and sent an army to Egypt to wipe out Pharaoh Hophra's army and avenged his Jewish relatives. When those Jewish relatives came to Ethiopia to be with their Ethiopian.
Now remember when the brother from who was that? When the brother from what was his name? From the edification. It's on YouTube. The brother for the edification of my people. They get into Ethiopians being Jews and God the hijacker. They should go. You ain't a Hebrew if you don't look like an Ethiopian. The fact that they ran straight to the people, so you gotta know they were doing it. So you couldn't even be a so you couldn't even be. It was doing the same. This same time we in there, that was doing the same time they had the feet. 312 Constantine. Right now, people confusing faces. People don't know who their people is. Same time, so they fleeing. Everybody hollered off down. Now you got people, all these folks talking about going to Africa. That ass known as Ophir. Right now. How you think that? Even the hijacker of the Arab. Now we gotta, you know what I'm saying, hijacker Nick. And these white folks.
Ethiopian relatives, they called the old settlers who settled there 700 years before Habeshas to tease them, since they had continued the ancient tradition of intermarrying with the offspring of the high priest Melchizedek. Habesha comes from the Ge'ez word abesa, which denotes trouble or corruption. The Ethiopians in turn called the newcomers Falashas, which meant they were refugees. The Habeshas were the descendants of the 12,000 firstborn sons of the 12 tribes of Israel, who went to Ethiopia with Menelik, Solomon's son, while returning to the his mother's kingdom in Ethiopia with the Ark of the Covenant. They also had their wives and children with them, so their number could have been well over 36,000, assuming each family had at least one child. 1,000 firstborn sons from each tribe of Israel returned with Menelik to Ethiopia. In summary, all branches of Proto-Afro-Asiatic languages came out of Ethiopia, probably from the Omo Valley, which means that especially Proto-Cushitic, Proto-Semitic, and Proto-Omotic all came directly out of Ethiopia. Ethiopia was a great empire that ruled the ancient world and preserved the first language, Ge'ez, alongside other ancient Afro-Asiatic or East African languages. Arabia was a part of the ancient Ethiopian kingdom during the time of King Solomon. However, Ethiopians were not Arabized, as some would like to assume due to their proximity with Arabia. Even the ancient Egyptian language is a construct of East African Semitic, Cushitic, and Akan languages of modern-day Ghana and West Africa. The Ethiopic Ge'ez language developed independently on its own, and we have Amharic, Tigrinya, and Tigray as related languages that are also ancient in their own respect. Of course, languages evolve. However, the evolution of Ethiopia and the Ge'ez language is from itself and not another. Don't confuse the rise of Islam and the Ottoman Empire's crusades between the 14th and 20th century as the crux of East African or West African history.
People, the tar wash off, we got the winter tar up here, okay? We got see this kushana? That is called kushata. So kushata people, okay? Tunica, Natchez, Biloxi, all these are indigenous people, indigenous black people. All this, when the land here is Washita. If you ever got a map of the United States, you have the Washita River flowing here, up through the Washita Forest, over to the Washita Mountains. You also have the Washita River, the Red River, which runs this way, and ends up the Washita River right here, okay? The Washita River. When they had the Great Trail of Tears, and the military came in,
woods is right there on the outskirts of the place that y'all know southeast Arkansas is called Vermont, Arkansas. I can, so I can, you can drive to it. You can point out what the hell was. They still got signs and stuff down there. Yeah, all in there. It's all that down there.
Oldest people on Earth. Did you know because of the oldest people on the planet right here in Louisiana? Okay, before it's over, bring it right home to Baton Rouge, okay, and show you some of the oldest people on the planet right here. Here is where we're taught the first people in North America existed. Up here you have the Washita proper. Do you think it's possible that the people here happen to meet the people up here? It's possible. Okay, next. Here you have, what's this right here? Where we are here?
Let me show you something. When you said Washita, it was all on top of Arkansas. You know, Louisiana's right there. So you Mississippi right there, boom. You already, you know, what them are, it's only like 5 or 6 hours from Vermont, southeast. I'm looking at the map right now. It's showing a lot of really old branches.
Washoe, that's the Washoe people, right? And what's right there behind it? What's right here? You got Lake Pontchartrain?
Right there where it's supposed to have Vermont, and then you go on down, you got the Timez. I'm gonna show you something. Right there in the area, right there, you got what's it called, the chocolate chum something.
You got New Orleans. Now who they say was here? The Washoe people? The Washoe. You got the Wichita up here, okay? You got let's see this Coushatta? That is called Coushatta. The Coushatta people, okay? Tunica, Natchez, Biloxi, all these are indigenous people, indigenous black people. All this land here is Washita. If you ever got a map of the United States, you have the Washita River flowing here, up through the Washita Forest, over to the Washita Mountains. You also have the Washita River, the Red River, which runs this way, and we got the Washita River right here, okay? The Washita River. When they had the Great Trail of Tears, and the military came in and made all of the Indians get off their land over in Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas. They took it all into Oklahoma. Now, you say you never heard this kind of stuff. The Washita people are the original people who built pyramids in North America. You know we have pyramids in North America. We have pyramids over in Egypt. We also have pyramids here in North America, okay? Here you have an article I got from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. This article came out in December 1995, December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. So you can't say the information not made available. It's just not propagated and given to us. But I am a researcher. I love to read. And tonight I'm going to share with you a few facts I found in my research. All I can do tonight is give you a small table of content, point you along the way, and show you a few things that we have not been told. Okay? Atlanta Constitution, December 23rd, 1995. Next. It says Southeastern Mounds, Pyramid, okay? Next. Older than the pyramids. It's in the paper now. See, Atlanta Constitution. Southeastern Mounds, older than the pyramids, okay? Next. What are they talking about? Next. Here you have the bottom of that article, a chronology of civilization. They start here with 1400, about the time of Christopher Columbus. They go over here to agriculture, the first agriculture ever in America, when they start digging and planting. Here you have Rome, 753 BC. Here you have the pyramid, the work start on the Great Pyramid in Giza. That's 2575 BC. In the very end, you have evidence of permanent mound building civilizations in Louisiana, 3800 BC. Okay? When they say they found some arrowheads and a few bones and sticks, they found evidence of a permanent civilization in Louisiana. Okay? Not savages.
Poverty Point because when they got there, they weren't able to grow anything at all. The Europeans who came to this area here, they were starved, they got famine, all kind of things happened. But here, the great bird mound you will find in history was a high place of culture and esteem. This is the place where the ancient civilizations of North America came. This is where we had our pilgrimage. You will find here at Poverty Point in the research artifacts. They can find copper from Michigan. They can find shells from North Carolina. They find minerals from Colorado. They find stuff from Minnesota. All up and down the Mississippi River. And the indigenous name for Mississippi River is the Mississippi River. It stands for the father of all rivers. All along Mississippi River, you will find people who came down here. And the significant about Poverty Point is that Poverty Point existed before agriculture existed. We have a city here. Look at that. Look at that city right there. This is the same way the United States Congress set up, correct? Same way the Roman Senate is set up, correct? This is where we started democracy. We started government, civilization in North America. Next. Here's something that says, let me break down the article for you here. New evidence of ancient mound cultures in the southeast dating to a time when the region was supposedly populated by simple nomadic hunters is spurring a radical revision of traditional theories. Okay? A radical revision of traditional theories, okay? About people who inhabited North America 6,000 years ago. There were permanent settlements in the southeast United States before pyramids were built either. Okay, right here it says, an accumulation of carefully dated soil samples and long neglected artifacts from man-made mounds in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Florida show that there were permanent settlements in the southeast before pyramids were built in Egypt. Thousands of years earlier than archaeologists once thought possible. Okay, they didn't think it was possible for there to be people here. Next. The Washita Moors predate the Olmecs, the Incas, the Aztecs, Toltecs, Mayan civilization in America, but we're all related. It's all the same people. Next. Here you have these saying, let me get to where it says Poverty Point. Russo says some researchers hesitate to here we are. Now the firm radiocarbon dates from a dozen ancient mound sites in 3 states, archaeologists say the Poverty Point complex, rather than being an anomaly, actually represents the climax of 2,000 years span of mound buildings, and that predates the Mayan civilization in Central America. So now you have people in Louisiana 2,000 years older than the oldest people recorded in time. Okay. And here at the end he says, you can't find something unless you look for it, and until the last few years, we didn't know what to look for. He says some of these sites have been destroyed by developers over the years because no one recognized them for what they really were. And what were they? They were, archaeologists began to recognize the mounds for what they really are, the outline of the first permanent communities in North America. Okay? Far to north of Mexico is where? That's in Louisiana, correct? We got a new group, still unnamed group of people, far to north of the Olmecs, okay? Olmecs migrated northward and mingled with other people there, okay? Can we name other people? All right? The Olmecs are considered the mother culture of pre-Hispanic Mexico. I was in Los Angeles talking to some of my Mexican friends. They were not trying to hear it. They were not trying to hear it, okay?
in the right-hand corner, what we have the organ dog, which is where we don't exist, the organ dog humor, which is the food. The brother put out in the video, Dr. My Baby, ingenuity, where it shows what the option from the haters, which is right here, for the water dog humor, and as in water dog. Also, you add this particular actual Catahoula or Salutation, which is a salutation back home, salutation, and a French, the French breath, right there, salutation. Started right inside of the Hula, so what we wrote was the name of Mongolia, so the Indian club known as the Indian, Timez, River, salutation, started with Timez, that's the river, the value of food, is after the fish river. And the best river is supposed to rain and older. So basically, you can see trails that the Canadians had during that time. Grand Lake, it's Providence, but they're supposed to be where Minnesota got dumped off of the river. The way it's done, Providence, a model. Where they were going to Catahoula, like East Paris, ran down, and that cheese lettuce, and trail on the side of the river, where it goes from Catahoula back up towards the water top, down, continuing down California, children, the hotel, but they need lake, salt mine, Timez, and the cattle was straight down. So there's river coming down, the old river, and then with the French, with a first come off after the first one, where the ship was called the before the river was over down there. The whole river, it goes from down Magic Bay, and you go back up, you go ahead and come in the distance, and all the shadow river, all the people, shadow, there's also the shadow, this side, the magic one side, the ball ball. You know the people by the name, the ball ball. And when you ask them, they use that ball ball, they like this. And because they have knowledge, what happens is they go over and knowledge pass down origin outside. And they how they freeze it, how they grow them, how they come over up to the kind of field. All these are old trails. These are things, trail that goes back up to Texas. And then the group, El Camino, out there, and it's connected. Basically, you got moving the river to the other side of the line. These are trails that were going down the river. That went back into the city. So you like, where the magic is. And you know, back then, the garden that those roads that they on the map. There you have an area called Toba. Toba is the name of the mountain. And that's where it's going, like it's going down west on that point of the name, west of the area. The sunshine there. So you get a presentation of the Watchtower Board, United States.
Riddles of Prehistoric Times, 1911. The Basques of Spain and France, the Little Dark Welshmen, the Scotch and Black Celts to the west of the Shannon River in Ireland, as well as the same kind of men in Brittany and Aquitaine in France, the Guanches of the Canary Islands, and the Berbers Berbers of Africa are all remnants of the race. The Basques, whom? The Basques are my people. Yep. The Basques are of middle size, compactly built, robust, and agile, of a darker complexion than the Spaniards. Their language resembles of the Finnish, and as well to some of the languages of the red man of the Pacific. An ice age probably drove them south. Some few probably survived as cave dwellers, but the larger part perished. The first inhabitants of southern Europe, northern Africa, Arabia, France, and the British Islands were a race of small men who did not average in height more than 4 foot 5 inches tall. They were of slight build with dark complexion. They were cave dwellers, emanations of Lemuria. Lemuria is that place I was telling you about, Coon, that came before Atlantis. And you see it up there on the map? That's the Pacific Islands, which was attached to Hawaii and stuff. Archaeologists say we've discovered the ruins of an ancient civilization off the coast of St. Bernard Parish. These ruins are large mounds underwater that may have once been the site of a lost city thousands of years ago. Paul Murphy reports local fishermen have long hunted up strange and unexplained things happening in that area.
The Chandeleur Islands are a chain of uninhabited barrier islands located in the Gulf of Mexico, 50 miles east of New Orleans. But 12,000 years ago, before a dramatic sea level rise at the end of the last ice age, this area may have been dry land. 3 different search areas. Retired architect and amateur archaeologist George Gillet believes the site, now underwater, was once home to an ancient civilization. He dubbed the city Crescentic.
What's down there is hundreds of buildings that are covered with sand and silt and that are geographically related to the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Giza is a city in northern Egypt where ancient pyramids and the Sphinx are located. Gillet claims to have found mysterious mounds of granite under Chandeleur Sound. Granite is not native to Louisiana or Mississippi.
Somebody floated a billion stones down the Mississippi River and then assembled them outside of what would later become New Orleans.
Gillet has spent nearly 50 years studying the site. He produced underwater sonar images of what he claims are remnants of major buildings, including a large pyramid.
It produces an electromagnetic energy that's incredible. And it is apparently 280 feet tall.
St. Bernard Parish shrimper Ricky Robin says he's experienced the energy firsthand. Robin claims the compass on his boat spun completely around near the area where Gillet pinpointed the tip of the pyramid. And that's not all.
But everything will go out on your boat, all your electronics, like if you was in the Bermuda Triangle. See, that's exactly what we got here. Exactly right there.
Robin took Gillet on 4 excursions to the site. He says for years, local fishermen have talked about catching strange square rocks in their nets near the Chandeleur Islands.
I thought it was, I figured right away that's pieces of the pyramid, you know, and because right around where that compass spun.
There are other theories about the rocks. One study by Texas A&M in the late 1980s suggests the masses are from shipwrecks or piles of ballast stones from Spanish or French vessels. The stones may have been dumped overboard to lighten the weight of ships stuck on sandbars or entering shallower waters en route to New Orleans. Gillet said some of the artifacts collected at the site tell a different story.
This is architecture. This is not ballast. This is a piece of architecture that's set like this. This is the outer surface. And this is a rain gutter.
People who believe in the granite mounds say that there is enough proof that something is out there in the water, but how it got built, by who and why, are still a mystery that in some respects is beyond explanation.
The older people, yeah, we've seen a lot of things there. Yeah. There's possibilities that God knows what. All I know is that somebody built a city 12,000 years ago, stuck out in Chandeleur. Whether or not they had somebody on their shoulder who flew in with a UFO, I don't know. All I know is that they left a whole bunch of granite rocks out there.
help future dive, modern sonar technology, and satellite imaging will help them unlock some of the secrets now trapped below 300 feet of silt, sand, and water in Chandeleur Sound. Palmer, Eyewitness News.
Before I let you, archaeology professor commented on the findings in an article 10 years ago in the Advocate paper. He said that they represent something mystical, despite making an attempt to create an artificial reef in the 1940s by dumping large loads of building materials in the water. The professor declined to be interviewed this morning.
Still out there being confused about human anatomy during what they want to be electronic and electromagnetic World War III. So what I can tell you, for those of you who need to hear it nicely, is that step one, your butt is tethered to the cloud, which means that anything that can go on the internet can reach you. That means an app on a phone, someone at their home, whatever it takes. Pardon my nose, I have been blowing my nose all most of yesterday and this morning, so that's why I look like State Thump Brina today. So, human body communication used to use a lot more radio frequency. The wireless body area network is a 27-year-old technology. She's not new. The new component of all of this is that the intergalvanic coupling is coming directly from the human body through the human biofield. Peer-to-peer on the blockchain is using the same thing. DNA steganography, writing your HIPAA records directly into your DNA using the same thing. NSA computers watching every synaptic response body-wide, not just in the brain, 5100 bits. This has been going on. The digital twin and the global information grid with NASA, etc., doing this. Nano-satellite, CubeSat, looking through you and your living room, your tissue. Before you tell me, no. NASA, the Hubble is blind. What are you doing? Photoshop with Mars. Shut up. Okay. So, when I went looking for all the research about all this satellite and what it was really looking for, it's looking for the perturbation or the cymatics or vibration of human body by skin and tissue and dermis, no different than the soil strata, and organized as such. So we have soil biosensors, we have biological biosensors, we have all sorts of sensors everywhere. And they have a huge video game and then everybody goes, oh, we live in a matrix. No! But they have biosensors and biomimetics and artificial intelligence that can make a mess of things, including your face and your immune system and everything else, by anchoring onto your skin. They have metamaterials. Pardon my nose. So, the reason that this is such a problem, all these sensors that they're driving around with their nifty little headsets since 2012 with Dr. Giordano in Georgetown, Sensors Open Systems architecture is the ability to reach any of those sensors, not just biological, all 5 branches of the military. And as you can see here, some of the industry standard bodies like VITA, IEEE, SAE International, ANSI. Okay? So, we're talking about the wireless community, the whole thing, from the ITU all the way through. And we watched Professor Ian Akil these, at least over here with myself and the Rumble Dad. I'm pretty sure we're watching him about as much as everybody else watching soap operas back in the day. Getting caught up, finding something new, or like, oh, he spoke over there too. Oh boy, okay. And what you have to understand is that they've had the ability to slap on a headset, look right through your veins and arteries, and essentially play the movie Inception for real, y'all, moving through bodies, because they have the ability to transfer neuron, neuron. Look it up. Google fingers. Neuron, space. Neuro, N-E-U-R-O, journal, Journal. Okay, enter. Images. Check it out. Elsevier Neurojournal. So, when I talk to people here on the channel and I'm all incensed, that's my morning coffee, I'm mad. Because there's all, yet again this morning, finding out more things about people who tried to talk about terahertz metamaterials, which I am now going to explain as best I can in the layman's terms. Lionel Richie, I think, playing in the background. So, we have the IEEE standards for your wireless above-the-area network, right here, 802.15.6. The biosensors that are industrial, meaning you're not hacking them, they're not going anywhere. That's 802.15.4. The wireless sensor networks that move around you for all sorts of reasons, that's 802.15.5. Okay? Now, with the advent of the metamaterials, more 5G being pulsed around through the atmosphere, the metamaterials are weaponized air molecules. They've been changed. They're usually a little more metallic than a normal air molecule. Hold that thought. Because we all asked for that, too. Oh, man, I finally found my paintbrush. My other one. Okay, so, during Professor Ian's presentation, they said that when it comes to electromagnetic waves, for bioelectromagnetics, those are the different algorithms and machine learning algorithms and routing protocols, all the different tracking and mapping mechanisms for your wireless body area network, okay? Just for this particular example, consider it that way. It's a good way to encapsulate all those little vectors in one place for now. So in bioelectromagnetics, which is where we're pulling that machine learning data, and then we're sending that machine learning data into big data on the internet through electromagnetic waves. But electromagnetic waves have a problem. Radio frequency modulation, because electromagnetic waves undergo multiple uncontrollable alterations as they propagate through the wireless, such as free space path loss, signal absorption, interference, non-line of sight propagation, fading, Doppler effects, distance especially for 60 gigahertz and the terahertz bands, coverage, and energy consumption. So, in lieu of all of these problems, they needed a better solution. And this is what you are always hearing me say CubeSat and nanosatellite, because that's what the metamaterials are running at. Scalar, yeah, metamaterials, 6G, 6th generation wireless, personal area network. You plus smart dust you never wanted to be that close to. Okay, so they needed to enable key technologies for the 6th generation wireless, which is your millimeter and terahertz, hertz bands, because hypersurfaces, metamaterials, bouncing all over the place. The random channel behavior greatly affects performance from the conventional approaches. CHAS, physical layer solutions, adaptive antennas, multi-input, multi-output, and beamforming. Even with the plethora of MAC because of all these problems that would go up and down depending on where in the wireless you were and how far and how near, etc., etc., etc. So, we have now fixed that problem. Vanna, tell us what we've won. With the new 6th generation wireless, we have intelligent communication environments, the Internet of Nano Things, and cell-free communication, quantum communication. Although, if I ask 5 people what quantum communication is, I will get 5 different answers. 6G radio, what is that? Reconfigurable, what is that? Front and backhaul. Front-haul backhaul for dynamic spectrum access. To be able to switch back and forth between 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 6, whatever. For dynamic spectrum access, bouncing around. Frequency hopping. Internet of Space Things with Nano or CubeSat, terahertz band communications, holographic communications, Internet of Bio-Nano Things for health, because it's always for your health, applications, ambient backscatter communications, computing for energy savings, and pervasive artificial intelligence and machine learning and deep learning. So 6G, network management, automated service decomposition, yeah. And this all has to do with all these different pathways that are breaking down these molecular structures and putting them back together again, right there in the atmosphere. And that is part of what I have to come back and explain with the pathway routing. And the papers for it are currently loaded on the channel in advance, because I don't have my computer hooked up, because I've been non-stop blowing my nose. So, for those of you that have never seen me before, you don't know why, I do what I do because this is what I always get, which is, give me a solution, hurry up, and then I get yelled at a ton. Please understand that the whole reason I'm doing this is because when I took a step back and recognized how close they were to this concept of changing other humans into something against their will, I wanted to know how for real, not halfway. And that required going back to school, quite literally. So I went to Spaces and Places at MIT. I took the synergist with me to look at things like this, which is a combination of combinatoric math, geometry, symplectic geometry, complex algebra, holomorphic spaces, and then eventually, with our X-manifolds and all of our mapping here and our Lefschetz equations, we will get to the ability to use our K-theory math to flip and flop toroidal fields, stretch and stream and like a coffee mug homeomorphism, look up on the Wikipedia, the actual environment with air molecules and metals to build liminal spaces to whatever degree we want to, like the cubes that the grid is made of, if you can see my calendar here. If everything is set up in a grid structure, and I have the manifolds as you can see through the paper here, all I have to do is get the metrics of the map. Where C is a compact, oriented, or smooth or two-manifold, such that each critical point of a smooth two-manifold has an orientation-preserving chart, on which F colon C2 to complex math is given by F parentheses W comma Z equals WZ algebraic geometry. And when I saw that, and I went, oh, wait a minute, but where are you putting that other molecule? And that's how I ran into Microsoft doing teleportation of the memory and the ubiquitous computing with deep learning IBM. Now, as a former network engineer, this made sense to me, but that doesn't mean I was comfortable with it, because quantum computing in these liminal spaces that you always hear about, all that is their ability to transduce their electrical homeostasis as a human deeper or more forward into the space. But you're in the 4th dimension. Yeah, your electromagnetic spectrum is like this. You see about that much. They're right here. They're vibrating right here. So you can't see them. They can see you, but you can't see them. Wow. They've hooked all that to the wireless. Because, in my opinion, the wireless has always been here. I can only prove it for about 2,000 physical years with IBM when I worked at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Anyways, so the W-band with the ability to flip in and out with all these paplets of DNA and mRNA and all these different segments of tissue, as well as molecular structure that is augmented by metals, so that they have a way to imbibe certain peptides, oligonucleotides, and make piezoelectric change, rather than waiting on a wave from a tower, or a wave from a nano peer-to-peer, or whatever. And the reason that I say that is know these things is why I haven't changed them. I said a long time ago, they all got together. Who did? Jobs, labs, bioinformatics, genomics, macrogenomics, medical piezoelectric bone folks, radio frequency, IT, Silicon Valley, and biohackers. They get together right when Barnaby Jack the hacker died, trying to prove it was easier to hack a human than a car in 2012 DEF CON. They get together 2013-ish as far as Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, and they all have a big plan to keep their mouths shut about brain-to-brain interface on Elsevier neural journals, all the brain-computer interface that was flooding the commercial zone. Biosensors were already commercially available since 2005 for any little nerd who could write the Zigbee and Bluetooth. So then I noticed with the Q thing that it had to be a PSYOP, my opinion, for the following reason. I'm like, wait a minute, so you guys all got together way back here, 2014 brain-to-brain interface, BCI, brain-computer interface for brain-to-brain is commercial, not industrial. And I'm like, what are we doing? Well, we're getting ready for what exactly? The convict. And here comes the Q with fake monkey works going to Gizmo. Watch the movie, build feeder grids. People in the whole alien Blue Water Channel type of stuff, they were into, we're going to be taken to the next dimension. And then the rest of people who were like ex-alphabet agency, military, whatever, even if they were arguing with the monkey works people, they were still doing puzzles and code, watching the Q, who is giving basic routing codes for satellites that change every 48 hours with DNS servers. We change the satellite. And I'm going, why do you always do this to people? You use computer networking terms and they go, it's so magical. And the rest of us go, oh my, oh, just put the valor back in tech, oh, please. So anyways, as this was going on, I'm going, what are you doing? And then people said, oh, it's been hijacked, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. If you don't tell them it's a body part, they won't understand, because nobody's going to be looking for the biofield. Pardon my nose. So, after all of that, then I said, this is transhumanism. There's no stopping them. We have to go forward. Their planned singularity, from everything I've seen, is in 2026, with Google Dragonfly coming over from China. That's what I've seen since the 8th grade, hasn't changed. So, I think we should be encouraged and emboldened by Jesus Christ of Nazareth, gratias Deo, and educate, encourage, and be empathetic to everybody, because a lot of people had no idea these systems would be turned on them the way they have been. Now, I know, you're like, how could they not know? Well, people still didn't know. And it's coming from me, y'all. So anyways, I knew that Project Salus had been around since early 1972, 1969. My dad was 18 years old. His draft number was 3 in Sigyn, 69 21st. My mother was Secret Space Force with the Air Force. So every phase and phase state is being watched by this AI on Project Dartmouth. I found out later on in 1954. So then I knew on the History Channel that we had 2,000-year-old computers with low Earth orbit satellites, which was exactly what I found at the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater with IBM equipment. Now I posted a link on the channel to the Daily Mail, in which you can see we had IBM running in the 1800s. Everybody goes, yeah, I know, they don't like to talk about a lot. So, they have disassociated our bioelectric field because nobody lets us talk about the fact that we're electrical and we have a body part called the biofield. It's on the National Institute of Health. And what you have to understand is that they've hacked the Schumann, they've hacked the golden ratio, and they're busy getting synthetic biology up in here with xenobots. And for those of you that are like, what's a xenobot? Oh, they decided to create the movie Alien. Organelles and organoids, it's not a joke. There are some horrors that I have to summon the courage to talk about. From behind the screen, it'll be a little bit easier. But that's where the anger rolled through this morning, like a quiet little thunderstorm, because I don't want it to be there for those of you that can't handle when I tell you bold-face, flat out with that Rocka movie, wherever that went on the Rumble Dads channel. Oh boy, here come the papers. So I'm not going to be showing movie clips. It's very rare for me. I only do it when I finally have hit the brick wall of, yeah, this is what it is, but I already did that. I've just been rounding up a different way to explain to people that they mean it when they tell you synthetic biology, regenerative medicine, transhumanism. They're not kidding. That's what the metamaterials are for. So, you would have a body area network inside of a personal area network. That's That's why everyone's trying to get people to focus on the wireless body area network. And the reason for that is because on the ultra-wideband or the campus body area network, etc., those networks are further out, but they're right there in your own home. You're still tagged in a personal area network with smart dust, devices, other bodies, and all of that is how the signal actually transfects, the new word that everybody's using with transfection, inside of your intracellular networks, interstitial fluid, your veins and arteries, the nano intracellular networks. That's why people were trying to get there on the Substack about clapper dots and quantum dot, and they're like, what are you talking about? It's because they have remotes. Ding, 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 ding. Transhumanism. They're not kidding. That's what the metamaterials are for. So, you would have a body area network inside of a personal area network. That's why everyone's trying to get people to focus on the wireless body area network. And the reason for that is because on the ultra-wideband or the campus body area network, etc., those networks are further out, but they're right there in your own home. You're still tagged in a personal area network with smart dust, devices, other bodies, and all of that is how the signal actually transfects, the new word that everybody's using with transfection, inside of your intracellular networks, interstitial fluid, your veins and arteries, the nano intracellular networks. That's why people were trying to get there on the Substack about clapping dots and quantum dot, and they're like, what are you talking about? It's because they have remotes to your body. And when you go to the doctor and say, I want to measure my biofield, they go, oh, you need some Xanax, 5 counselors, and baby's a little 30 days away. Solitary. Yeah. Overseen by more white coats till you stop talking about that there body part. It's a bad situation, y'all. This, I mean, and this, so, then, in March of 2023, here on the channel, Synergy on the Odyssey, I'm like, hey, real estate is really having problems. Cars, boats, property, Bitcoin is kind of bullshit because they're pulling it out of you. And then there's farmland sabotage, non-GMO seeds, water supply tampering, and they keep telling people,